start stream. Let's do it.
Woo.
Woo.
Okay, link.
Alright, I think it started. Or it'll
Oh, man.
get ready. There we go. And we're live. And I should pop out the chat.
Oh man, hold on.
I should change the thing so people can actually see something rather than a blank screen. There we go. Nice. Hello. We're gonna have a fun time.
Fun time.
I've also labeled this Quan and Zodiac read original fiction ? Because we're not actually. Apparently, according to Quan, it's not fan fiction.
Nope.
It's original fiction. I've never seen it. She's just gonna show. I'm going in blind.
Oh my god.
I'm going in blind.
I'm so excited.
Oh dear. I remember that you've been talking about this for You've been talking about this for a while. Like, I want to read this with you guys.
It's like, okay, so how are we gonna read it? Because
Well-
it's written like a book.
Wait, what?
It's like written like a story.
Like an actual book?
Yes, kind of. It's on Wattpad. If
Oh.
that tells you anything.
Well, then you can give me a link and I can pull it up, and then we'll just be reading from the same thing.
I know, but like, how are we gonna take turns?
Well, we'll be reading from the same thing, so you just hear me say something, and then if I was thinking we could do it where I read just generally everything, and then we can voice characters.
Honestly, I just want to laugh at you. That's honestly all I'm here for.
So you just want me to?
I'm here to laugh and discuss how you feel.
You're here to lessen the mental trauma.
Yes.
So yeah. Also, if anyone hasn't met her, this is Quantablos, my 100% legit internet wife.
We're married.
Yes. So. Yeah. Well, I think it'd be good if you did some voices. That way I don't, totally slay my vocal cords.
Okay, I got you.
Because when I read different characters, I like trying to give them different voices.
Well, oh man, you're in.
Oh, goodness. Okay, did you give me... Oh, you gave me the link. There it is.
I'm so excited.
Oh, goodness. Here we go. We're pulling it up on... Worst story on Wattpad. That's a great way to start it off. Let's just read what we're getting into here.
My favorite.
Hang on. I can't... I want to look at the... Hold there. Let me read the whole description. Dang it. What the heck? Won't let me read it. I don't use Wattpad. I cry.
I don't either, but it's worth it.
There's 1 million views? Jesus. Go away. There's a bar that's telling me to log in or sign up.
I know, mine has it too.
There's an X that suggests you could make it go away.
I know, I've
go
been
away.
clicking it for the past.
Yeah, I keep clicking it. Everyone can hear this. I'm clicking. So also, just to check, can everybody hear both of us? We just want to make sure.
Quiet.
Oh, I also should probably pull up this stream somewhere so I can actually read the chat whilst streaming.
That's what I do. I've got the chat on the left and the story on the right.
Yeah, I only have just because I'm filming it, I don't want well, I guess I could actually, you know, I can do this. Hang on. There we go. I got Windows because I realized this isn't Photoshop. I have desktop view. So yeah, I can take this and I can make this shrink a little bit. So there we go. All right, so we're gonna get into this, I guess, because I guess I'll just ignore the note, but sick of cliche Wattpad books, then this isn't the book for you. We take every single overused plot, character, and trope on Wattpad from player meets nerd to my boyfriend is a vampire and mash it all into one awful hilarious parody. Oh boy, that's exciting. Oh, I like how the first tag is 1D fanfic.
Yep.
So this is a fan fiction.
I guess.
You lied to me. How could you?
It's really not, though. You'll understand.
Goodness. Goodness gracious. So I guess we're just gonna start reading.
Yep.
All right. I gotta think of how I wanna
It's a
start.
girl, so.
I need it. It's a girl, so
Yeah.
nice. Okay. Oh, I just looked at the name. Oh Lord. Oh, here we go. Okay. Nobody could deny it. I, Summersbury Applewinter Newton Smith, was the most average girl in my leafy suburb. I thought this to myself as I prepared for school, hastily throwing on some mismatched clothes and pulling my hair into an unflattering ponytail. That sounds like every girl at my school.
Same.
It's either unflattering ponytail, because I don't know, maybe I just don't really like ponytails in general a lot of the time, or at least not high ponytails. Or it's like down and they all look like they're 25. Anyway,
Oh my God.
so it's the mother. Honey, called my mother from downstairs, living in a 3-story mansion. It was a little hard to hear her.
You gotta read it the way it's spelled.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was skimming. Anyway, living in a 3-story mansion. It was a little hard to hear her. You're late for your first day at a brand new school in this brand new town we just moved to very recently. Goodness. This sounds like my writing style. I cursed my tardiness, catching sight of my reflection in the mirror. I saw my blonde waves glisten in the morning sunlight, and the blue orbs of my eyes sparkled like pools of moonlight. God, I am one ugly piece of work, I sighed melodramatically. No wonder I had no friends. Oh, I already see what's happening here. Oh, goodness. I rushed downstairs and gave my middle-class parents their farewell hugs. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. Bye, began my mother, her eyes rolling back in thought as she tried to remember my name. You know when your parents can't remember your name, you know something's wrong.
It gets better.
Summersbury, I supplied. Whatever, she shrugged. I clearly named you when I was drunk. Oh, well, that explains it. But, Mother, I said slowly, I gotta read this slowly. You're always drunk. Sounds about accurate.
You need me to read this.
Oh, goodness. Hey, don't spam the chat.
So relatable.
Don't spam the chat, please. She just downed her 3rd daily shot of morning vodka and kicked me out of the door.
Bye.
Sounds like every character in their parents' relationship. When I arrived at school, I began to walk down the hallway, wondering why nothing exciting had happened yet. I looked around for my locker when I caught sight of a pretty girl talking to a muscular boy. The girl was blonde, and she wore a cheerleader... Oh my goodness. Go away. Pop-up ad. Anyway. She wore a cheerleader kit. Kit?
Kit.
Kit. Cheerleader kit.
I don't know if that's how it is. That what it's called?
I don't know. I thought at a first glance it looked like kilt.
Yeah, that would make more sense than
But
kit.
that's not what but what? Also, again, you know what's funny is that earlier today I was just talking with my stepbrother about how why are all the bitchy girls in stories blonde, and the next word is so she was clearly the work of the devil.
Oh my gosh.
Why are all like mean girls always blonde? I don't understand. Like, goodness. Anyway, so what's a good
Gotta be
bitchy
like,
cheerleader voice?
gotta sound like a valley girl.
Oh, good point. Hi there, she smiled, waving at me. My name's Courtney, like all the mean girls are named. You must be new. Would you like me to show you around? She offered kindly. I just hissed at her and I just hissed at her clear hatred towards me and the ulterior motives I just knew she was harboring, and ran away to my next class. That I can see what this is. I see what this is.
It gets better.
Goodness. Gosh, I hope you find your way, she called as I left, her voice fragile with concern for my well-being, like the devious monster she was. Goodness, I should just not comment until I'm done reading this.
It's about to get real good.
Every time I comment on something, it basically either proves her point or like answers my question in the next sentence. I should really just read the thing and not comment.
Just read.
Anyway, bursting into the classroom, I took a seat between a studious-looking Asian girl and a skinny boy. Of course. Of course. I could tell we were going to be great friends.
It's better.
Of course, as their dark clothing instantly told me they were like me. Outcasts. Oh, I just caught sight of the name. I'm about to offend everyone. Oh no.
This is science.
Should I just add to it and give her like...
No, like listen, you gotta read it as it is because the names only get better.
No, I mean, should I give her like the stereotypical Asian voice?
Oh my god, do you?
Asian accent, is that... Oh goodness, I'm about to offend everyone, but you know what? Let's stereotypes. Hello, stranger, said the female. I am Xinglu Li Wang Zhenzhao. I didn't say that last one right. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I can't do a Japanese accent very well.
Just do your best.
She bowed. See, it's not racist. She might actually have moved from China or Korea or Japanese or Japan. Why did I was about to say she moved from Japanese?
She moved from Japanese.
I swear.
Does that mean I moved from America?
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, where was I? Okay. I nodded. Yeah, thanks. Hey, that teacher's quite hot, isn't she? No, I'm sorry, isn't he?
Hey,
isn't he?
Just assume the teacher's gender?
I'm sorry. I said, smirking at our geography teacher as he began drawing a volcano on the board attractively.
How do you draw a volcano on the board attractively?
I just imagine one of those, like, super... No, I'm not reading My Immortal. Everyone does that.
No.
There's so many times that people can read My Immortal, and I just... Everyone does it. I just,
Yep.
you know, there's no point, really. No. Also, why is he drawing a volcano? Isn't this the first day of school, or did I miss something?
Hey, you know, some schools explode on the first day.
Well,
Other.
Luke Vantis seductively draws volcano. Goodness.
Volcano emoji.
Zing shrugged. No girl has a chance with him, nor boy, she added. Enigmatically. I can say enigma, but I can't say enigmatically.
Enigmatically?
She added, like an enigma, cracking open a fortune cookie and banging an ancient poet prophetic gong. Oh no, what is this? What is this? I see this. Oh no.
Keep it.
Hey, said the boy next to me suddenly. What up, girl? ASL. Oh no.
It's whoops, girl.
Whoops, chew, girl. ASL. I looked to Zing for help. Huh? Oh, that is Tumas, she explained, eating a spring roll. He only communicates in poorly written text talk. Before I could nod in understanding, the teacher turned on me. You there, he yelled. Talking in class. Go sit in the back next to that hot, mysterious boy.
You're the hot, mysterious boy.
Are we talking about Heathers? Okay. Inhale. I looked at said boy. Well, he was hot, I'll give him that. And very mysterious. I moved to sit next to him. Hi, I said, instantly embarrassed because I was an outcast and he seemed so desirable.
His name?
Oh, he's British.
No, his name is British.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Should I give him a British accent or not?
Yeah, I think it would make it better.
Oh, I can't do a British. I gotta I can't do accents on key. I think the only one I can do on cue is like Russian, but. Hello, he replied. I'm British. I raised an eyebrow. Interesting. I mean, you didn't specify which country in Britain you were even from, let alone what area, but you're British, and that will do. Oh no.
Torrential downpour.
Torrential downpour, scones, teapot, wanker, pavement, he said in reply. Oh no. This boy was very mysterious with his pale white skin because God forbid I have a non-white romantic interest, and shrouded eyes. I instantly knew that he was the one for me. So, what are you up to tonight? I asked, because I only came to school to pull guys, not to actually learn stuff.
That's why I go to school. Explains why I'm single. I don't go to school.
He shrugged. I'm meeting Courtney for coffee. My eyes widened with rage. No, I'm not missing. I'm not missing something on the page. Stop. Anyway, my eyes widened with rage. That tart. She was clearly out to get my man.
That tart.
That I didn't know was my man. That she didn't know was even my man in the first place, and she probably met him first.
Clearly out to get my man, who I just met 2 seconds ago.
If she's told you that you're your first boyfriend, she's probably lying. I sulked. Boyfriend? No, we're just friends. He smiled. That was clearly a lie, I decided before noticing something. I didn't actually know this guy's name yet. So, hey, my name's Summersberry. Cool, he said. I'm British. I gave him a sideways glance. I'm pretty sure we already covered this. No, the boy said. My name is British. Oh my god. British Latoksky. I was born in Warsaw. Okay, a moment. That's a nice name, I said, by way of explaining that I had no idea what he was talking about. Clearly, like a large number of teenage protagonists in teen fiction, I am brick stupid. Makes sense. Although, is that really a stereotype when it's true? Da-da-da. Anyway. I grew up in Poland, he said proudly. I have no idea what that means. Poland, British said. What's Poland? He frowned. It's a country. When we eventually realized that I neither knew nor cared on what on earth what he was going on about, he just gazed sullenly into the distance and whispered, I am a vampire. So,
just gonna put that out there.
Let's discuss what we've learned so far, class. So.
No. You're gonna be surprised who the werewolf is.
Oh, no.
It gets better. It gets so much better.
I'm gonna die.
No, I'm screaming because you're listening. It gets so much better. Screaming.
Oh, no. Heather/Italia/Twilight/fic confirmed. Goodness. So. Oh my god. Well, that's insulting because I'm a vampire. Oh, goodness.
What's Poland?
What's Poland?
British, I'm a succulent.
If you want to keep up with the chat, Quan, that'll help.
Okay, I can do that.
Goodness, I'm already dead.
I'm joking.
Alright, continue to the next part. Yay. Oh my god, we've learned that British Watoksky is a vampire. Also Heathers, also cheerleader bitch, also stereotypes.
Hi, Teeny.
Hi, teeny.
The
More
werewolf
garbage.
is the Asian
How
girl
exciting.
calling it. Okay, I got $5 on the Asian girl is the werewolf.
Okay. Oh, goodness. All right. Part 2, here we go. I believed him. Of course I believed him. There was no chance that this complete stranger whom I've never previously laid eyes on before these past 3 minutes could be lying to me. That was a run-on sentence. I trusted him with all my soul. There was no one I felt I could trust more. What's really, really sad, I think, is that this is almost precisely how I write my stories.
Oh no.
At least this is what I aim for.
Oh no.
Unless I'm writing a serious scene, this is how I've written like Seven Sins and a Baby. Like I haven't obviously you only see the dialogue, but this is kind of what I go for in my mind. And I think that's what the saddest part is. Anyway. Which, to be honest, says a lot more about me than it does him. Wait! I shouted to him as I began to leave. I don't mind that you're a Polish Polish? You're a Polish vampire.
You're a Polish vampire.
You're a Polish vampire, I declared.
Those dang Polish.
Polish? Polish, he frowned. Yeah, I said. You're a Polish, aren't you? No, he's my brother. And with that, he turned on his heel and dashed into the distance to drain the blood of a virgin or something. To be honest, I don't really care. He was hot. And
He was hot.
Breathe.
Polished abs on his ivory skin. Maybe werewolf is an allegory for being furry. Why not throw another community? Yeah, bitch.
After that, I began my journey home because apparently my school has only one lesson, and the one with the hot boy. And I had invited home with Zing and Tumas. Is that something else? Tumas?
Tumas.
Tumas.
Yes.
Tumas.
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 As they were now my closest companions.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy.
That sounds like me when I make friends. To be honest. Oh, I just looked at this. Oh, goodness.
This is what the kids call relatable.
Oh, no, I see this. I see what's about to happen. Oh, no.
Keep reading.
My front door was flung open by my brother Susan. Hey, he cheered, sticking his lipstick back into his purse. I'm a homosexual. Breathe.
If that's not how you come out, I'm disappointed. Like,
Burst down the door, throw your lipstick into your purse. I'm a homosexual.
Like, if I had a friend and they didn't tell me like this, I would be heartbroken.
Sing bowed. Thank you for welcoming me to your humble abode. Prawn cracker? She offered, holding out one. Whatever, babe, Susan pouted. I need to go to my room and try on my new leotard whilst doing some interior designing and hosting an evening talk show, because I'm a homosexual and apparently that is what we do. The first step is being self-aware. Oh, goodness. I nodded. Cool. We all know you're the only one here to make the people in my life seem more diverse, despite you being basically every offensive stereotype imaginable.
Can't read, aggressively scream.
Oh no. By the way, he said, adjusting his tight leather trousers, our parents want to talk to you. Then he skipped away, sipping a cherry martini on the way to his diva pad to the sound of YMCA. You see, I would love to see a character like this, like a legitimate character, only the thing was that they were 100% heterosexual.
That's the best.
That's what I want to see.
That's honestly me.
Wow, sighed Zing. There was nothing offensive or inaccurate whatsoever about that crude stereotype. Frowny face. No, I'm sorry. Colon, parentheses, comma, said Tomas.
Thanks, Tomas, for that insightful input.
Oh, goodness. I shrugged and walked indoors to see what the hell my stupid parents, who always ruined my life, wanted. Cutie pie, my mother greeted. Candy bear, honey badger. That last one wasn't cute, I pointed out. She just chugged down some Irish ale. I've got good news, she cried. We're going to a wedding. Whose? Yours, she squealed delightedly. I'm sorry, delighted. Is she getting married to a bit? Oh no. I frowned. Excuse me? There came a point when this really stopped being funny and started getting cruel. That point passed 3 weeks ago when she spent my university fund on liquor and Justin Bieber tickets. Okay, I'm sorry. When I looked ahead and saw Justin Bieber, I thought this was going to be that she was getting married to Justin Bieber.
No.
Anyway.
It gets better.
Oh, God. Those are never good words. My mother just shrugged. I sold you for tequila, honey, she explained. But I did it out of love. What? Who am I even married to? I wept. How could this be happening? I was only 16. Sad, because that's my age. This sort of thing doesn't even happen on MTV. Then, suddenly, oh no. My mother pointed in the vague direction of Tomas. Him. My eyes, that's a plot twist.
No, wait, it gets better.
Oh dear. Oh no. My eyes widened shut. Married to my nerdy schoolmate, I cried. Thinking about it, that sounded quite a good title for a terrible autobiography. Oh, sorry, no honey, my mother laughed. I didn't mean him, I meant this guy. Into the room walked a huge muscular boy with a slight tan and dark hair. He shrugged off his leather jacket and motorbike helmet, shoving a gun back into his pocket. I caught my breath. He was the most beautiful person I had seen all day. He's totally not a werewolf.
No, definitely not.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I look at his name. His name very much tells me that he is not a werewolf. I'm sorry.
No.
Hi, he said with a salty murmur. My name is Al Wolfo Wolfsbane Bono Wolf, he declared, ripping off his shirt. What? Who does that remind? That reminds. I got the distinct mental image I got the distinct mental image of what's his name from Fairy Odd Parents.
Oh gosh.
What's his name? The flipping purple fairy.
Juandissimo.
I got the distinct image of Juandissimo.
Well, throw Fairly Odd Parents into things.
Well, he's like, okay, slight tan, dark hair, rips off his shirt.
You're right.
And he's muscular. If that's not Juandissimo, I don't know what is. Goodness. I wish I remembered his voice so that I could read it as Juandissimo.
He's a sultry Spanish man.
Suddenly, I didn't mind being a teen bride anymore. Oh no, wait. And for some reason, I really hate you. He pointed at me. Suddenly, I didn't mind being a teen bride anymore. The flipping purple fairy, Zodiac 2017. Hey, Al Wolfo. I swear, if I ever screw up his name and forget how to pronounce it, I'm literally just calling him Juandissimo. Or I'm sorry, I should call him Wolfdissimo.
Wolfdissimo.
I'm calling him Wolfdissimo, that's canon.
Plot twist, he actually is Juandissimo.
His Summerberry's fairy odd parent.
Just keep reading.
Anyway. Hey, Alf Wolf, Wolfo, I said. We hardly know each other, I admitted. Tell me about yourself. Oh boy.
Not a werewolf.
My favorite
Hashtag not
food
a
is
werewolf.
raw flesh, he began slowly. My phobia is the full moon. My hobbies include prowling the woods and babysitting One Direction. Why babysitting One Direction?
It's relevant later.
Oh, dear. Sorry, I heard something. Hang on. Question mark. I heard something.
It's me on my way to love you.
Oh my god, smooch. Wolf Decimo is my spirit animal. Someone give me fan art of Wolf Decimo. Just take a stock image of a wolf and Photoshop Juan Decimo's head on that wolf and give it abs. I demand this fan art.
You have to Photoshop One Decimo and the abs.
Yeah, and abs onto a stock image of a wolf. Or draw it. Either one. I will accept either as payment.
The next commentary paint needs to be Wolf Decimo. Time to draw Wolf Decimo.
Do it. Luke, do it. Goodness, sir. Anyway. Okay, continuing. So he seemed normal enough. Just a normal, average, decent human being. Suddenly my window shattered when in through it jumped British. I had no idea why he was breaking and entering, but Wolfo was shirtless, so I was a little distracted. If I make fan art, how do I send it to you? I will make it, but you have to tell me, let me tell you when it's done. So you can send it to me on DeviantArt, on Twitter, or on Instagram. If you want it in a video, it has to be on DeviantArt because for some reason it's really hard for me to put fan art I get on Instagram onto like I put it into my computer because Instagram won't let me like just save the picture on my phone. I have to like take a screenshot and crop it, and it's frustrating, but
It is.
so if you would like Wolf, I mean with Wolf Decimo, it's possible, but you know, to be honest, I ship Wolf Decimo in British.
Oh gosh.
Oh god. Anyway, vampire! My new husband snarled. British picked himself off the floor and hissed, werewolf! I gasped. There genuinely was no way any of us could have possibly seen that coming!
Oh no.
My vampire classmate I feel like her voice is getting more and more parody-esque the
Good.
longer I do it.
That's the point.
Anyway. I didn't know there were Instagram photo saving apps.
I didn't either. I am apparently uneducated.
I guess. I don't know. Anyway, goodness.
Just who TF is Wolf Decimo.
You don't need to know. It's fine. Just
important.
accept that Wolf Decimo exists. Alright? Anyway. Wait, okay. My vampire classmate just snarled. You will die if it's the last thing. You will die if it is the last thing you do. Oh no, I forgot he's British. You will die if it's the last thing you do. I frowned. And, hey, weren't you supposed to be hanging out with that insufferable cheerleader temptress of Satan today? I asked casually. He just shrugged. She's gonna go see a movie with her girlfriend. I see. He explained. Girlfriend? I made a face. That couldn't be possible. Everyone knows that lesbians don't exist in teen fiction. Honestly, that's sad how that is true.
It is.
That is true. Maybe, you know what? I always wondered why in every story, I like to say that I have a weird habit of making accidental lesbians.
Oh god.
Where I don't intend to put lesbians in a story or even any romantic couples. And then two girls will suddenly become lesbians.
Dead.
I don't know why. I can name a distinct story that is not on the internet anywhere where I legitimately, there were two characters, there was no romance in the comic, or in the story, besides, I guess technically there's some weird, like, sexual tension, but but then the main character and one of her team members, I suddenly realized, shit, they'd be the best lesbians. So yeah. I swear, don't you dare bring up, what's it called? Gay or European, or I'm gonna start singing.
Is he gay or European?
It's hard to guarantee. Is he gay or European? Well, hey, don't look at me.
Did that musical.
What?
My school did that musical when I was in high school.
Oh my god. My school's done it, but it's been a while. Cough, polygamous, cough. Well, technically, that's not entirely lesbian. It's more like a straight guy and then basically a pansexual and bisexual. But anyway, that's... Anyway, so...
Anyway.
Well, also in, I know I'm totally getting sidetracked, but I just realized in Seven Sins of a Baby 2, there's also two characters. They're total side characters that have no relevance to the actual story at all. But they're also accidental lesbians. Because they weren't supposed to be gay, but they became gay. Anyway. So, I don't know. Anytime I make stories, there's always accidental lesbians. Anyway. Oh, the gay and the straight people always have to be, like, by chance or intentional. But the lesbians just happen totally on accident. Like,
just happens.
Anyway, I really should keep reading. Or maybe I'm intentionally just stalling and I'm not. Anyway. So, where was I? Let's scroll down. Oh, is that what the wanton mistress of the night has had you believe? British grimace. They've been in a healthy monogamous. They've been in a healthy monogamous relationship for 2 years now. He elucidated slowly. I didn't say that slowly. Elucidated. I just scoffed at the plethora of lies that she was obviously feeding him and concentrate. Oh, I also forgot why I brought up the accidental lesbians. I just realized. I brought it up because maybe that's why I have so many accidental lesbians, because there's never lesbians in fiction. And if they are, they are made to be like a sexy girl that, like, the main character wants to date, but then it turns out she's a lesbian. Also, wait, hang on. Your story is... Oh, goodness. I was ranting about this to myself in the shower, actually. Because I do that. Purple Potato, your story, Seven Sins and a Baby, is similar to an anime watch. It's called The Seven Deadly Sins, and the sins have the exact same sins as your characters. First of all, you actually don't... Only two of those characters have their names revealed, and that is not true. There are two of them that were shamelessly based off off that anime, because I have watched it and I love the first season. Not so much the second season. I actually really hate what they did with Diane in the second season a lot. At least what I've watched in the second season. But I can tell you why it's not. One, my gluttony, and this is going off the ones I actually have announced and revealed. My gluttony and show gluttony are two totally different people. Entirely. You can even just looking at them, they're different. Also, that's not even going in the rant how flipping, I thought Merlin was pride, and then I looked it up, and she's flipping gluttony, and I was like, no, don't do that to me. I don't like that. Plus also, who else? Meliodas and Wrath are also very, very different. A lot. In fact, in all honesty, Meliodas looks nice, but he can kill you Wrath is mean and rude as shit, but secretly just kind of wants everyone to get along. He's just very argumentative. But yeah, so, but I will say this. Blue Scarf Child is very shamelessly based off of King. Very shamelessly based off of King. I'm not lying. I even laugh because I have some people who literally just call him King, and it makes me laugh because, you know what, I'm not even denying it. Like, but yeah, I could go on a whole rant about the second season of the Seven Deadly Sins anime, because I only watched the first few episodes that were out at the time, and I watched them with my brother. And what was really sad was the only two characters I still liked at that point was Merlin and Grover, and they were hardly not on there's no real, they don't really get a lot of screen time, which kind of upsets me because at first I really loved the show and I liked the direction that was going. I liked the sort of thing they went with Meliodas where he's Wrath, but he looks like nothing like what you'd imagine Wrath would look like. I love Bon. He was my favorite. And then I loved King, too. He was, like, my second favorite. I loved what they were doing with Diane. I thought they were doing a good job. Yes?
Look in the chat.
What? Is it okay if I... I like how you got a derpy photo of it.
Thank you, Teeny.
It's beautiful. Oh god. I'm just gonna save this. Hang on. I'm just gonna save this. Oh, that's my favorite. No, I don't want to close all tabs. Dang it. Oh, I'm crying. Now this is what you call sexy. Okay, so
this is the true pinnacle of beauty.
This is the high quality content I subscribe for. Did Teeny do that?
Yes.
Go subscribe to Teeny Tiny Draws or go watch her on DeviantArt, please. She deserves it for that.
My baby.
Anyway, so where was I? I was yelling about things. Anyway. Too sexy for a shirt.
Please help me, I'm actually crying.
I am too. Hello, my name is Wolftissimo. My sexuality is British.
Quality content.
Okay, so I don't get why Wanda don't want that. Okay. Anyway, so I was ranting about the Seven Deadly Sins anime. Okay, so I liked what they did with everything, and I actually really loved what they did with Lest. Because, like, I know that he's supposed to be trope anime femboy kind of thing, but, like, there's something just really entertaining about him. Because not only is he, like, I know he's a femboy, but he kind of has a bit of a different personality than most generic femboys, and it was also kind of a plot twist. Spoilers, by the way. And I just found it kind of funny, you know? But then, like, the second season, and so everything was cool, and then you met Merlin, I was thinking, like, she's totally, Pride just because I was, like, looking at her, like, there's no way she's not Pride. So, like, first season, I was, like, great, and then I also liked Elizabeth, even. Like, I know she was tropey anime protagonist, but I still actually kind of liked, she was entertaining to watch, especially with Meliodas. And also, I found it hilarious that Meliodas was, like, he looked like he was, flipping like 14, and he was like the most pervy like kid ever. Anyway, but sorry, spoilers. Yeah, so if spoilers for the Seven Deadly Sins anime. But like I watched the the second season, like the episodes that were out, and I was really disappointed, honestly. Like it felt like there was no change to them. The only character that changed was Bon, and I don't like the change that he had. Oh yeah, well Diane changed too, in the most shitty way possible. I think Diane was the one that riled me up the most because I liked Diane originally, and I kind of liked I thought the love triangle between Meliodas, Diane, and King was kind of cute and interesting. But then now all Diane is now, or from what I've seen at least, maybe I don't know, but like, all she is now is literally just the big bosomed chick with absolutely no personality.
That's me.
You have a personality. Literally, all she was that there was no personality there except for maybe nice, and that she's now Elizabeth's best friend, I guess. And all she is now is just the character that King and the other guy just pined for. And I didn't like it. Like, I actually liked it more when she was super high-key jealous of Elizabeth. Same. I didn't, like, and then now all that she is just literally, like, I'm exaggerating here, but she's, like, just the sex doll that King and the other guy pined for. And I don't like it. And then, I could go on, I'm not changing the title because I'm going to read this eventually, but, like, then I also really hate what they did with Bon, because I really liked Bon originally. And again, I won't lie, another character in my Seven Sins and a Baby is also flipping based off of flipping Bon, because I liked Bon originally. But now I'm so confused what his character is, because at first he was like such a I don't know, I like calling him a sassy vampire kind of thing. And I found him entertaining, and then you find out that he's actually like secretly not that bad of a guy, and he can cook, and he was cool, and then like, but then you find out he's like, spoilers, that he's kind of frustrated with Meliodas for reasons. And I was like, interesting. I'm interested to see this be a thing where it's like, he has this eternal, and then like you find out that he has to kill Meliodas for some reason. I don't remember what it was for, but like, he's just arguing like, it'd be interesting to see him fight with like, this is kind of my best friend. Like, should I kill him? Whatever. And then, and I thought that'd be interesting. But then, but all he is now, I don't even know what he is. I don't know if he's angry at Meliodas, or if he's still friends with him, or if he wants to forgive him, or if he does or doesn't hate him. And I'm so confused. And now that's all his character is based on, is him being salty about that his girlfriend died. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And now my favorite character is Hawk, which is sad because all he is supposed to be is the comedic relief. So, I don't know. I was very frustrated. And then now all King is that he's fighting for Elizabeth with the other guy. And now all Meliodas and Elizabeth to me are that they're meant to date each other. From what I've seen. And again, I don't like it. And again, sadly to me, like there was an episode I watched in the second season that was like, Grover kind of went on an adventure, and he met like a little girl, and there was this stuff kind of happened, and I also won't lie, I also have a character in Seven Sins and Baby who's kind of based on Grover, but they're also pretty darn different, just like with powers and kind of appearance, but like, so Grover to me was interesting, because, like, I didn't entirely know, I know my brother does, because I think he's actually read the manga, ? I don't know. Well, Well, here's the thing. I didn't think they were that flat, or they had a lot of potential in the first season. Like, the second season episodes I watched, like, the only characters that seemed like they had any depth were Grover and Merlin. Because Grover, like, there was some stuff you didn't know about him. There was some mystery to who his character was. He was funny to me. Like, there was the episode wherever, in the second season where Meliodas wanted Merlin to be, what's it called? The boar hat. Wanted another, like sexy waitress kind of thing. And Merlin's like, no, I don't do that shit. And then flipping Grover walks out like, how do you do his voice? It's like, I can be one of the Boar's Hat Trophy girls. And it's like, and he's wearing the outfit and everyone just stares at him awkwardly. And I found it hilarious. And then Merlin I found interesting because there was the episode, again, spoilers, but there was the thing where the girl was, like, messing with one of the other characters, one of the side characters, whom I also find more interesting than the main characters. And she ended up casting a spell on her that was like, whatever they said that you could do, if you do that, you'll die or you'll be in pain or whatever. And I actually found it interesting because that kind of implied that Merlin is a very gray area character. Like, unlike the other Sins who aren't necessarily bad people exactly, she's like really in a gray area. Like, is she a good guy or is she a bad guy? And apparently she and Grover room together. And I was like, why can't there be an episode where you just have Grover and Merlin adventures? But no. Like, I don't know. I could just, I was about to say I could go on a whole rant, but in all honesty. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant about a show, but yeah, I loved the Seven Deadly Sins anime the first season. The episodes I watched of the second season I really hated. So yeah. Anyway, so, wait, who disliked this? What?
Oh,
Does someone dislike my video? How dare they?
how dare.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone disliked it because I was...
Spoilers.
Well, spoilers, and also on, the, flipping, oh, because I was, like, shitting on a thing, or I wasn't reading the fan fiction, probably. But,
Right.
I don't know, someone brought it up, and I was just thinking, like,
It's your stream. Do what you want.
Yeah. Plus, it's a stream, I can't expect it to be very coherent. I've gotten so bored of the rant that I started spamming in and out of the dislike and like, that's fine. I like going on tangents about story related things. I'm very passionate about it. If you can't tell. But yeah. So sorry. That's funny because that went right off of because someone said like the characters in the Seven Deadly Sins anime and your Seven Sins and a Baby characters are very similar, and yeah, some of them are, and I'll admit that I based them very much off of Seven Deadly Sin characters. I think the only ones that weren't based off of them was Wrath, Gluttony, the Green Asian chick, and the purple guy who's gonna show up soon, and I don't know how to refer to him because no one knows who he is. Anyway.
I do.
Yeah, you know who he is. That's because I've showed him and his lovely sprites. Anyway, what we were doing, we were reading shitty original fiction.
Yeah.
So, nice peach.
Thanks.
So, what were we doing? I don't remember that again. Okay.
Monogamous?
Okay, I just scoffed at the plethora of lies that she was obviously feeding him, and concentrated for once on the real matter at hand. Why are you in my house? I asked. His face contorted into a sexy grin, also to catch people up who just joined. How do I even catch them up?
You don't.
Well, hang on, I'm gonna try. So, there's a hot teacher. There's a totally not a lesbian bitch, totally bitchy cheerleader girl. Um,
That's all you get to know about him. His name is Tumas.
There's British. There's Wolf. There's Wolf. There's Wolf Decimo. There's a very racist Asian best friend. There is
The cheerleader's called Courtney.
Yeah, and she's totally not a lesbian, guys.
No.
That doesn't exist in fiction.
She is a wanton mistress of...
Yeah. Because homicidal psychopaths are in the season. I'm gonna reread that entire line just in case. His face contorted into a sexy grin because homicidal psychopaths are in the season.
Are in the season?
I'm here to rip out the soul from this fiend as the streets run red with his mangy blood. And also, I love you. He added to me as something of an afterthought. Well, that was a bonus.
That is how me and Zodiac fell in love.
Yeah, I just showed up and I was like, I just put it, one person, like, I'm here to rip the soul from this fiend over here as the streets run red with his mangy blood. Then I put, like, a hand on Quan's shoulder. Also, I love you.
If that's not how you get your partners, then you're...
Yeah, if that's not how you meet people, then it's not true love, man. You might as well just break up now.
Yeah, it's not gonna last.
It's not. There's also, what was it? There was a joke from earlier from a story I made. Either that or somebody has to punch the other one in the stomach after you save their life. So one of those two. Anyway. Well, that was a bonus. Hey, well, I can't say that. Oh, Wolfo yelled at British. You can't love her. I love her. I made a face. I thought you hated me. Yeah, but I was enticed by your quirky individualism, whatever that means. Anywho, he said to British, you can't kill me. I'm the alpha of the pack. I frowned. What the hell does that even mean? He just glared at me. No one's going to bother explaining this. Seriously, you will never find out. For all you know, I am a... What?
Cosmopolitan Greek salad.
It's a cosmopolitan Greek salad. But as my cosmopolitan Greek salad of a husband and a mysterious enemy prepared to fight, I wondered if this is how it would end. A battle of obligatory white guys and the big bad wolf and the big bad boy wolf.
Woo.
Big bad boy wolf.
Say that 5 times fast.
Big bad boy wolf. Oh boy.
Can't even say it once.
Alright, next page. Why do you even read this? I don't know.
You're asking the good questions.
Dedicated to Summersbury. I woke up dizzily. What happened? Was this all a dream? I rolled over to my right. There sat El Wolfo. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Screaming, I scrambled to my feet. What are you doing in my house? I cried. Actually, this is my house, he explained calmly. I drugged you with chloroform and drove you here in a body bag stuffed into the boot of my car. Wait, I frowned. Isn't that, like, illegal or something? Before I could even consider pressing charges, I caught sight of his house. By house, I mean what I meant was like his 100-acre mansion in Florida, packed with the maids and butlers and Bill Gates. There was 27 Starbucks shops on the ground floor alone. I instantly felt better, relaxing immediately. He was clearly too rich for me to care about the non-consensual abduction that just happened. Non-consensual abduction.
Yep. That's a double negative.
Non-consensual abduction. Well, actually, now that I think about it...
It is both correct and incorrect.
Well, it could be like a kink thing, could mean how it would be consensual.
Yeah, that is a thing. You are correct.
So it could be a kink thing. And I'm the almost 17-year-old talking about kinks over here. Anyway, so, because I think that what weirded me out was like, what's consensual abduction? But you know, it could be a kink thing. Anyway,
it is.
So, Leading me to his room, he said, "You are my maid now." "If you're so rich, couldn't you have just paid for me?" I asked. He shrugged. "Oh, yeah." "I miss my abusive and neglecting family," I wailed, thrusting my hands into my pockets and pouting. "I'm lonely." "Well," Wolfo said, "I'm going to invite some friends over tonight to sadistically gloat about my hideous crime of illegal drugging and abducting a miter against her consent." "So, like a party?" I asked, instantly perking up. "I guess. Or something nice." Suddenly, I remembered what I was wearing I was wearing the most disgusting slapdash outfit I owned. I felt deeply ashamed. "I only have these clothes." "It's cool," he said, throwing open a wardrobe. "Borrow one of these." In the wardrobe sat row upon rows of beautiful, if rather expensive-looking party dresses.
That's my dream come true.
What the heck?
What?
What? I don't know. I was reading the chat. Anyway.
That triggers me.
Anyway. That also triggers me because... Oh my god! Okay. Oh my god, Quan. You're going power crazy!
I was triggered!
Oh, good. September's my birthday, so that was weird.
I'm triggered.
Triggered. Rude.
I'm only half kidding.
Anyway. I frowned. "Oh, Wolfo, why do you have this wardrobe dedicated to women's clothing?" I asked. He shrugged. "A guy has got to have a hobby." After a brief, awkward silence, Wolfo led me to decide on which dress while party guests began to arrive at his front door. I took a long time deciding which dresses suited my sensitive, introverted character. The wardrobe mainly consisted of staid, floor-length numbers of high conservative necklines. Of course, I shunned them all for a thick black leather dress that was just an inch away from being a swimsuit.
If that's not what you pick, I'm disappointed.
Where's Susan? Where's Susan when you need him?
Susan!
I
think he shows up actually.
Oh my god. Wandering down the stairs, I looked around anxiously. The house was packed with guests, all completely drunk despite the fact that the party had only begun 5 seconds ago. Despite this being a legitimate kidnap, most of the guests were my 16-year-old schoolmates. They were all drinking beer, except for Zing, who was drinking soy sauce straight from the bottle. Zing's my favorite character.
He's my favorite too.
I love Zing. Oh god. Oh, I'm so dead. Anyway, so she was whooping loudly like an imbirated party animal while screaming ancient Chinese proverbs. "Hey Zing," I said, "are you okay?" "A whitewashed tiger who shows stripes again as the sun sets to the west of the lily pad," she said. She yelled. The whole room cheered drunkenly. I wandered into the kitchen when unexpectedly a hand reached out and made an attempt to go where no hand should go. Suddenly, Wolfo burst in and threw the owner of said hand to the ground. I gasped, looking up at him as if he were God or a Starbucks coffee, for to me they were one and the same. "You saved me from a disgusting pervert. We are in love," I breathed adoringly before something clicked. "Wait, hang on. You were at the front door. How the hell did you know this is happening, let alone sprint over here so quickly?" I find it disappointing every time I read, oh my god, Twisted, no. It's okay, I'm sorry, Twisted.
Oh no, what happened?
How dare you stream when I need to pick up my husband, Zodiac, I heard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I can't even say I didn't know because I did know.
Oh no.
I scream. I'm sorry, Twisted. Forgive me. I made you an owl. I'm sorry. Anyway, inside jokes no one understands. What's really sad though is that I feel like I just looked at the guy's name. Um, I'm stuffing my face with dinner and you do this. You are forgiven. This time. Thank you. Um, but anyway, I feel disappointed every time I read something and I suddenly get an entire idea for a story.
Oh my gosh.
And it's funny because I'm willing to make anything a story, no matter how dark it is. Anyway, like every other sentence I read, I think that could make for a great story. This is my life. Literally all it is. Like, my mom was joking earlier today, and she was just like, because I made a joke about, like, the solar eclipse and how, like, this gives me a great idea for a story. And she's like, you're just living in your own world, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. That's basically my life. Goodness. Anyway, he just gave a shrug. Oh, that's Lester the Molester. I was just kind of expecting it. I frowned. If his name's Lester the Molester, why the hell would you invited him to your party? I don't know. He's like the obligatory perv in every teen fiction novel. Zodiac, I did the same thing. Oh my god!
Oh no.
We avoided this during your stream and it's back! Oh good. Okay, I'm giving context for this one. So Twisted Disaster, everyone needs to go check her out because I think she still doesn't have as many subs as me, which is a crime against humanity. I don't know, I need to check. But, go check her out, she's cool. We have realized in a series of different images and streams that almost all of our stories, like a lot of our ideas are the same. We have very much in common. Which is really funny, and there was a stream where we were just screaming because, she kept saying things, and I just yell in the chat, like, I do that too! So we're kind of convinced that we're secretly related.
That's like
somehow.
me and Sam.
Yeah, sub to that one, Twisted Disaster with the threes. That was probably not very descriptive at all, but you know. But yeah, so that was a funny thing. So if you ever hear one of us say, I do that too, and we start laughing, you know why. I think the stuff I know off the top of my head was that, like, we both have two gods based on creation and destruction that were, like, the same names, and they're both dead, too, just to add to that. What else off the top of my head? Oh yeah, we also have, 7 deadly sin characters that are color-coded. It must be, even though I'm older, lol. Yeah, I'm the younger brother, it's fine. Yeah, there's, like, so much in common that we just didn't know. That was, like, so unintentional. But yeah, so that's that. If you ever hear a scream about that, you know why. Anyway, let's continue with this atrocity. Which is also, honestly, really good comparing to a lot of actual legit stories.
It's so good. I love it.
It's great. Okay, anyway. You see, if a parody is going to, oh, have fun watching your movie. If a parody's aim is to make, if a story's aim is to make you laugh, love you too, sis. If a story's goal is to make you laugh with how bad it is, it's succeeded. It doesn't matter how bad it is, so long as it makes you laugh. So, you know, now obviously if this was a legit story where things were supposed to be taken seriously, then it'd be a horrible story. Anyway, so that's the difference between parody and actual legit stories. Anyway, so, la 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 la. I don't know. He's like the obligatory perv in the every teen fiction novel, although Herbert the pervert from downstairs seemed to be edging in on his business proceedings, I admitted. Herbert gave me a Wichirius grin from the other side of the room. I shuddered. Okay, Owlfo, now that we've established our love, I'll just let you do your thing, I said, and he left the room. After 5 minutes, my pathological clinginess kicked in and I went to find him again. "Oh, Wolfo," I called happily. "Where are you?" And then I saw him making out with Courtney. I swear. I thought Courtney was a lesbian. Is she not a lesbian? Because I can imagine this playing out 2 ways. Either she's actually bisexual, or she's actually a lesbian and he kissed her. Anyway, "What the hell, you dirty wanton mistress of the shadows!" I screamed at her, bursting into tears. "That's my boyfriend / kidnapper," I added as an afterthought. A wolf pouted. "Summersbury, my love," he whimpered. "She forced herself onto me. Who even knows what she would have done if you hadn't arrived?" With a disgusted grunt, Courtney shoved him off of her, giving her a revolted glare. "What the hell, man? You told me you were a cancer patient and that making out with me was your dying wish." I knew it. Manipulate. Of course. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, she's lying, though. You know. She's lying, though. Obviously, I was going to believe my creepy supernatural child abductor rather than my classmate, because probably my classmate was, as all Wolfolk had claimed, a sex offender. You tampon! I screamed at her, because clearly my boyfriend's infidelity was all her fault. "Oh, Wolfo, I will never trust you again." And with that, I ran from the house in beautiful, soul-touching tears, right into my new geography teacher, and One Direction. Could collect ourselves.
Do you want to stop there?
No.
You want to keep going?
It's only... So one more page couldn't hurt. How many pages even is this?
I have no clue.
Goodness gracious. Not so epic. Oh, this is the not so epic finale, so.
Oh, so maybe it is almost over.
We'll see.
Oh boy.
Alright, let's do it. Okay. My geography teacher declared, "Summersbury, I am in love with you." There were many things wrong with this. Firstly, as a grown man in the teaching profession, why was he at a teenage binge drinking fest celebrating the kidnap of one of his pupils? Secondly, the guy drew volcanoes on one whiteboard for a living. We had never had a single conversation that wasn't about sedimentary rock. And thirdly, he was a grown man with a wife and family. Taking all this into consideration, I said, "Okay, no!" cried the curly one from One Direction. "He can't love you. I love you." Hey, I don't know how to do an Irish accent, argued the small Irish one. "No, mister, I love her." The tall one pushed him aside, holding a rose. "No, Summersbury, I love you." I don't know how any of their voices sound, just so people know. Actually, oh, hang on, I gotta go. Actually, the dark-haired and monobrowed one said, "I love her." The homosexual one just shrugged differently. "To be honest, I really don't care," he admitted, and Susan gave his shoulder a sympathetic pat. Trying to avoid the awkwardness, I whirled around to leave, but Tumas was blocking my way. I-L-Y, babe, B-B-B-B-E.
I love you, baby.
No, like, illy baby. He informed me.
I'm telling you that now. I love you,
Oh, I have hiccups now. This is how One Direction broke up. Oh, God. Cool. I got hiccups.
I love you, baby. I love you forever.
This is starting to feel like a self-insert. Really? Is it? Oh, goodness, I had the hiccups. Hang on.
I love you, baby.
I love you, baby. Alright, hiccups gone. I love you, baby. That's the new meme.
I love you, baby. I love you, baby.
Oh, at the Zodiac Lord, your friend's laugh is the cutest thing ever. Thank you. She's mine.
Ah! Dying.
No, cried El Wolfo. Summersberry, I love you forever. I love you forever.
I love you forever.
I love you forever. Tumas countered. Then, my crowd of admirers began surging forward slowly like a throng of zombies. There were just so many of them. All of a sudden, the glass of El Wolfo's window shattered as British had pulled himself through the like a brick. I was beginning to think this was the only way he'd actually knew how to enter a building. I was thinking, Quan, I love you, baby.
I love you, baby. I love you too, baby.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I like the I love you, BB.
I love you, baby. Hi, hang on. Cheerio, Summersberry, British said Britishly. I love you. Well, actually, I explained apologetically, pointing at my group of romantic prospects. So do all these guys. He threw a pint of lager? Lager?
It's beer.
He threw a pint of beer to the ground in fury. Blimey, these buggering buggers have nabbed me bird, he cursed. After sticking that through Google Translate to work out what on earth he just said, I told him, actually, British out of all these men, I choose you. I love her, baby.
I love you, baby.
I love her, baby. British frowned. What? He seemed genuinely confused. All of these men are wealthy, good-looking, and at the peak of their careers. I, however, am a homicidal supernatural monster stuck in high school. Are you sure you're making an informed decision here? My eyes instantly welled with tears. But, British, I am pregnant, and you're the father. A wave of silence fell over the party guests like a blanket over a rich man's car in snowy winter. What? British said slowly. Summersberry, we have literally only ever spoken twice, 3 times if you count right now, and at no point did we, he gestures downward. Are you sure you're not just fat? True love. No, I confessed. But can you just accept the fact that we're dating now? He shrugged. Yeah, whatever. The whole crowd burst into jubilant tears, and the music restarted. The crowd began to dance at the party, and or as I call them, the leftovers, looked into each other's eyes and saw love. True love, like the love I now had with British. We gazed at the end at each other, me happily, him apathetically. We could see this, that there would be the beautiful, everlasting relationship. Wait! Wait! The whole crowd gasped and turned simultaneously to face the doorway, where stood Courtney. Behind her, 5 officers were waiting. You! I screamed, pointing a trembling finger at her. You're just out to steal my man, aren't you? What is this? Like the 3rd time now? She rolled her eyes. For God's sake, how many times do I need to... Oh no, Valley Girl, I'm sorry. For God's sake, how many times do I need to tell you that I'm not into guys? What kind of person is ready to believe in werewolves but doesn't believe in lesbians? Me, I said, and pretty much everyone else. Pretty much every teen lit author out there. Why are you even here? Give me a moment. Courtney dug her hand into her pocket and pulled out a badge. Teen Fiction Police, the same guys who prevented Twilight Book 5. Google it. We're shutting this place down for good. She gave a nod to the officers, who were exacted their weapons, and told them, go for it, boys. Whoa! British held up his hands in a gesture of surrender. What did we do wrong? What did you do right? She pointed at Zing. Charged with perpetuating... Oh, I should give her a different voice because her true identity is revealed. Charged with perpetuating offensive racial stereotypes. I have your visa papers. You're Australian. The crowd gasped. This is the best plot twist ever. All right, Zing sighed in casual Aussie drawl. You got me. She extracted a koala and fired up a barbecue in which to cook it. That's not really helping, Courtney admitted. But Zing didn't put it away, so she just let it be. And you, she looked pointedly at British. What Englishman talks like that? He shrugged. Bangers and mash, he sniffed. Then Courtney pointed at Wolfo. You're a multiple criminal guilty of kidnapping and turning into a monster every full moon. That's just plain creepy and not romantic. And you, she pointed to one direction. What are you even doing here? You know, I need to, like, take this again and actually do, like, a dramatic reading of it. Like, a proper dramatic reading.
With, like, fancy noise in the background.
Yeah, like, music and, like, actual legit, like, reading it like an actual story. Like, actually give the main character a normal-sounding voice. I swear, and I would be willing to do that, and also... I would be willing to do the suffering it takes to make that, like, to draw that out.
Please.
I would be willing to do that.
Please.
Like, goodness. Anyway.
Please.
Anyway. The small Irish one shrugged, midway through munching on a tortilla. Free food. Courtney rolled her eyes.
Whoa.
What?
Call it.
What?
What did you call it? What was he munching on?
Tortilla?
You said something different.
I said tortilla.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go back and look.
I said tortilla.
It was
Chat, back me up here. Did I say tortilla? I said tortilla.
I did not hear tortilla.
The chat will back me up. I said tortilla.
Tortilla!
Talina! Okay, listen. I will blame this on Summerberry's voice, okay? I said tortilla. You know, I just proved I didn't say tortilla.
Fortilla.
This didn't happen. And you know what? What if a tortilla is a thing? Huh?
Cry.
You said tortilla. Apparently I'm getting tortolia. I'm getting a lot of mixed responses on what exactly I said.
It's the 7th wonder of the world. My tummy hurts.
I said, we're gonna... Anyway. Courtney rolled her eyes. Bring this place down, boys, she ordered her men. Wait! I cried, waving my hands about. The officer stopped. Give us 5 minutes and we'll prove to you that we're non-cliche... What?
Cliche. Yeah.
Non-cliche... Yeah, copyright. She shrugged. Be my guest. British eyes searched mine, but instead of looking back, I addressed the crowd of party guests. Guys, we're all going to need to pull together and save our book. How? Oh no, I'm sorry. How? Susan asked. Well, we've just got to prove that we're not cliche. Copyright. Like, I paused. Him. I pointed at British. Don't you have anything you'd like to share? He shrugged and said slowly, I love Gossip Girl and I actually want to be a house husband. There were a few anxious murmurs around the room, but slowly people began to clap. The story is starting to glitch. Oh, the story is starting to glitch. Oh. Wolfo was the next to confess. I'm never happier than when I'm wearing a dress. I mean, hey, I've got great legs. I'm a sucker for a sweetheart neckline. You know... That actually makes sense as to why his hobby... Oh! Oh, the thing reloaded.
Oh.
Hang on.
Did you lose it?
It's fine. I got it. I gotta find my place. Okay, I'm the sucker for a sweetheart neckline. The applause intensified, and there was even a few wolf whistles. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. I used to be a woman, my geography teacher, whose name I'd rather worryingly still do not know, announced. I'm not gay, Susan declared. I just say I am, so girls tell me me intimate stuff. That makes sense. I'm glad, actually. That's a good plot twist. I am, though, admitted the homosexual one from One Direction. Oh, no. I'm about to offend everyone. Je peux parler couramment cinq languages différentes. Something in another language. I'm assuming just from linguist being in there that he's saying I know many different languages.
Language?
Differences.
Copyright.
Dumas shouted. I'm happily married with kids, Lester yelled. You're a teenager.
Who's Lester?
That's Lester the molester.
Oh, yeah.
I've been alcohol-free since 93, screamed my mom, who was, for some reason, also here. I just say I'm an alcoholic to get benefits from my support group.
Oh my gosh.
I've never even been to China, Sing bellowed. The whole room descended into wild cheers and applause. We all felt brilliant. This was alarmingly liberating and incredibly refreshing. Courtney shook her head and folded her arms, smiling reluctantly. All right, men, she said to her officers, we should be heading off. I heard they're planning to make a sequel of Hush Hush. Not so fast, grinned Zing. You guys can join the party, especially you, she pointed at the Chinese officer, who suddenly looked extremely eager to leave. After the party, we pretty much all found our own callings, but we remained close. British sought professional help about his vampire delusion, which turned out to be just a severe anemia. And we bought a nice home in France, which British has named Waterloo House, just to rub it in. Many people have mistaken it for a public toilet, but other than that, we're doing very well. Zing opened her own Australian restaurant and eventually married Courtney, surprising to no one. Tumas got a job voicing the new iPhone Siri application. And Susan has become the sixth member of One Direction. And we all lived happily ever after. Except for Al Wolfo, who spent 10 years in Pentonville prison for the abduction of a minor. The end. Alright. Okay. Note, I have nothing against One Direction. I just don't really know anything about them, and I thought it'd be funnier if I didn't do any research. I'm a terrible person. Whew, that was fun.
That was the best.
Finish reading.
Woo!
Woo!
Best story ever.
Best plot twist ever. So, I don't know. Should I continue the stream? We could just do chat conversations just for the hell of it. Because I enjoy doing that.
Chat.
Hey, so. That was worse than my social life. Oh no.
Oh.
See, I knew it. There's a freaking sequel. Okay. The thing that really made this stream was the rejection of my September birthstone.
Oh.
Noonie, no. Aw, I'm so happy there. These are my two favorite people in the stream. Well, thank you. I better hope Quan's number one. Let's see that whole Decimo picture again. Gladly. Hang on, where is it? Okay. There it is.
10 out of 10 Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, hang on. I see this. Read and stuff with Quan and Zodiac. Oh, that's the best. I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
Hey, I want this to be my thumbnail. Hang on.
I love you, baby.
I'm making this the thumbnail. This is the best thumbnail. My thumbnail's so boring. I will take any opportunity to
You know I'm always making memes.
use. I will always take any opportunity to use a better thumbnail.
That's me. I have teeny tiny, and all the other kids make my thumbnails. Like, let me show you. Because they always end up so good.
I love your thumbnails. They're great.
I
I love making thumbnails for like specific videos. Like I love. Oh dear.
Oh.
My video output is low.
Oh. Seem to be doing fine to me.
I don't know. It's saying that, yeah, I'm seeing it on my screen. It just seems fine. I don't know. But yeah, I love that, that flipping. I love making thumbnails just because it's a lot of fun. Because I like making for like character reviews. Because I always try to make something kind of jokey, and then night everyone is going to bed. And then I love. Oh, who is with you? This is Quantablos, my wife. 100 legit anime. I meant to anime internet wife.
Anime waifu.
I mean, we have anime waifus technically.
We do.
They're the best anime waifus.
The best.
The best. But I love, like, I loved making the thing about Mary Sue's thumbnail, and there's actually, for everyone who's here, you get to hear something fun that's coming out tomorrow at 11 Central. I'm gonna be making a follow-up video to the thing about Mary Sue's, which I don't know if that's even gonna get me a lot of. She does have a channel. It's Quantablos, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go do that. She also has a DeviantArt. But I love the thumbnail because I put Mary Sue in there again in the original thumbnail. It's the original thumbnail, but the words are covered up by another picture of Mary Sue. It's great. I was gonna do Marina Susan, but you know what? Mary Sue's the best, so you know. Luniverse Q&A? I'm always down for a Luniverse Q&A.
My voice hurts so bad.
Your voice hurt. I just read that entire original fiction.
I'm dead.
It's okay, Con. You can just relax. Oh. I love both your art. I follow you on DeviantArt and YouTube, and I love your art and personalities. Well, thank you, Ardent's Imagination.
Thank you. Send me a llama badge.
They're just for. What are those for, though?
They're just fun and make you feel cool.
Teeny, I love you, baby, too.
I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I'm not gonna read the sequel. Maybe in a different stream. Why does Vanessa have such a killer chin? Because she's Vanessa.
Gotta stab something.
I mean, yeah. What else would you do with a killer chin like that? Strangely, a lot of my characters either have like soft chins or sharp chins. It's like there's no in between.
Are they gonna stab you or?
Either they're gonna stab you or they're gonna shield you. I need to read up more on Luniverse, but time constraints and me losing my place constantly makes it hard. Aw, well, you don't have to read up on it. And I'm always fine with repeating myself. When it comes to my stories, it actually kind of helps me too, because hearing it out loud many different times, like, kind of helps me know, like, helps me remember it too, so you know. I'm honestly surprised how coherent the conversations flowed in this fix. In this fic. I mean, yeah, honestly. I thought it was... Whoever wrote that is a really good writer, in all honesty.
Love
Um,
them.
guys, if you need to sleep, go sleep.
Sleep, please.
Animal Productions. Who do you think is your best made character? Hmm. I don't know if I can answer that because that's very subjective. So I don't know. I think that'd have to be more for a question you'd ask other people. Purple Potato, don't you dare ask me who my favorite OC is. That's a question no one can answer.
That's like asking a mother who her favorite child is.
Yeah. I have favorites.
I have favorites.
Message retracted. Oh no.
Oh.
Isn't Wolf DCmo the best made character? He is, actually.
Yeah.
That's not even subjective. That's a fact. Infinity is my waifu, Virus is my husbando. Not bad choices there. Best plot. Ooh. That could be a choice. I'd say, it's hard to, trying to think of actual stories that have full plots because there's 3. One of them, though, I've made an effort to keep it off of line.
Ooh.
Off of online, I mean.
Off of online.
What's the best plot line? Because there's Luniverse. The very vague plot line I have in mind for Seven Sins and a Baby, which there's a lot of blank areas that are going to be up for improv. And then flipping, and then there's, you know what I'll talk about? There's Colorful, which is a story I made last year, or possibly, I think it's last year, yeah. That I've just basically doodled everywhere in my books. And there are digital pictures, but they're just color references I made. And they're horrendous because I used a base and whatnot. But they're made solely so I have the colors of the characters. Which that's a great story. And I actually started a comic. I had a bunch of thumbnails. I made a full first page. I worked on a second one. But I stared at it and I just looked at it and I was like, you know what? This story would make such a better animation than it would a comic. So I'm gonna save it for a day where I have the ability to make an animated series. And it would be hard and it would take a long time. But that's a thing I can do. That'd be flippin' awesome, but you know. But yeah, do you think Seven Sins and a Baby will ever be announced on this channel? I have announced it. There was a video I made where I said there's a comic or whatever that people can read. And eventually, I'm actually willing to talk about it more if people kind of want to ask questions. I can't answer everything, because spoilers, like, I can't tell you what their names are beyond Wrath and Gluttony's name, but, I'm trying to think of how else, if I could give them nicknames that are very short nicknames. Golden Eyeliner Hottie is always one of them, but anyway. I don't know. But yeah, so of those 3 stories, the question was, what's the best plot line? What's my favorite? I think that's such a hard question because I love it. I love all of them for different reasons. I love Luniverse because it's convoluted and it's been it's like I've been writing like 18 different stories in one story. And there's a lot of lore and stuff I've been able to build because I love world building. And it's sad because a lot of that lore will never be mentioned in the actual comic because there's just not a chance for that. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then I love Seven Sins and a Baby just because I love the concept and I have a lot of fun with those characters. Because, fun fact about Seven Sins and a Baby, what's really funny is that I intentionally made the sins to be pretty generic as possible. I think only 1 or 2 of them aren't generic as shit. And that was intentional because I thought it could be funny if I did it the right way. And it's a very comedic comic. There's drama in there. There will be because it's how I roll, but I love it just for the ridiculousness and the fun it's been. Actually making a comic for it, although I take too long. I procrastinate on comic pages. Colorful is actually a dramatic story, or more dramatic. Of course, with my writing, nothing's ever totally dramatic, ever. But it's a more serious, typical kind of story, if for lack of a better term. I guess I can give a synopsis of it, although maybe if I feel like it, I can show you at least what the characters kind of look like. Yeah, I'm willing to talk about it, I guess. But he is, not he, I was looking at Andrew when I said he. Anyway, but Colorful is a story that's made for, like, it's, again, oh my god, all the beautiful thumbnails. It's more a typical story in a sense. The basic premise of it is that there's these 7 characters, and they're all color coded and based on the rainbow because that's what I like, because I enjoy doing that. Who are all considerably outcasts, quote unquote. They're rejects in a sense, and they're all different. And it's kind of underdog story sort of thing is the cliche there, but like is the trope I mean. And they live in it's a post-apocalyptic world, but the apocalypse is over and the threat's gone. It's more of like the world after the fact. Because it was like a robot uprising that got destroyed and defeated. And they live in a giant, quote-unquote, dystopian city. And it's basically them learning to deal with one another because they're all weirdos and figuring out how to live there. And then they have to try and defeat the tyrant, or basically the dictator, who's based on the color pink because I thought that'd be fun. And it's actually, what's really funny, I'm sorry, I keep reading it, that's why I keep pausing. I see you going on a Discord and stream. Do you have your own Discord, and is there any Discord you recommend for people wanting to get help on their OCs? I do have a Discord. I don't really throw it out there very often. But I do have a Discord, and I don't know of any groups. I mean, honestly gives me an idea for a good group that I could make. But I don't know any groups that are...
Too.
What?
They can come to me. I have a Discord.
Yeah, oh, you want Quantablos Discord. Yeah. But yeah, so... Where was I? Again, I'm reading the chat. I'm very, very sorry. But, so yeah, and then that's basically their shenanigans, and it's kind of goofy. There's a lot of humor in it, especially. And what's really funny is that 7 Sins and a Baby, those characters have a lot of resemblances to the colorful characters. Like, a lot. Both the characters based on Red are total, irritable, argumentative hotheads who either are or think they should be the leader. Both the Orange characters are pretty preppy and are kind of like the best friends of the Red character. And they're pretty quirky, and they also can murder you. They're the cinnamon roll that can murder you. Although Colorful's orange guy is a lot more obvious in his appearance. Gluttony is less so. Just rolling through. The 2 yellow characters are completely different, shockingly. Although the yellow character in Colorful, I love her. Her name is Canary. She's team mascot. Has a very strong resemblance to another character that's going to show up in 7 Sins of a Baby, shockingly. So, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, Bibby. But then... Where was it going? Okay, and then both the green characters are kind of... They think everyone else is stupid, although Venus, the green character in Colorful, is a lot more likable than the green Asian chick in 7 Sins and a Baby, and she's a lot less talkative. And both the red and the green characters get in fights very often, and then they learn to kind of accept each other. Woo. What happened to Wrath when Golden Eyeliner Hottie slapped? I like how you put his name together. Anyway, Golden Eyeliner Hottie slapped him. He's passed out. He won't show up till... What page is it? Shit.
Oh, boy.
What page is it? Because I have it done when he shows back up. I have it done... Because I'm way ahead on pages, but I'm paranoid and I don't want to, like, risk things. So I want... Let me go to Google Drive. What character is it? No. What page? While I'm looking for it, what else is there? The blue themed characters are both one-liner kings, who are also kind of assholes and are a little bit lazy. Although the blue one's a lot less so, and the blue one's Blue Scarf Child has more straight-faced, flipping. Blue has his is more like happy kind of looking face. Okay, anyway, hang on. So he shows back up on page 30/31. So that's exciting. And also a new character gets introduced on page 27. Or technically he shows up page 25, but you don't see his face or anything till page 27. But anyway, sidetracked. So, continuing on, both purple characters have black hair and purple eyes, but, you know, black hair. I know they have more similarities than that. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, I don't think they do. Both the pink characters, although one is an antagonist, one is a protagonist, are flirtatious, seductive assholes. Who are very intelligent, mind you.
Giggle.
You know, I need to show you what these characters look like. I'm gonna pull it up. Hang on. I've had Photoshop up this entire time. If I can find it, that is. I have no idea if I can even find it, but... Or if it's even here, if it's in my old save files. Because it exists.
Baby.
Yeah? Baby?
I sent you a gift.
You sent me a gift? I love this gift. It is a good gift. It's beautiful. Okay, hang on. Here it is, colorful. There. Wait. Where did it go? I have a folder that says colorful, but it's not there. That makes me spooked. Oh god, all these old files. These are very old files. I swear, I know they exist. I will find them. Did I move them here and I just don't know? No, I did. I moved them here. Oh. Yeah, see, I actually had comic pages and shit that existed. I had a prologue scrapped. I had thumbnails, 2 sets of thumbnails. I had page 1 through 3. I don't even know how far I got. I had a animation of JoJo, who's my favorite, who's my little baby. Who's my baby?
Baby.
Random OR. What is this? Hang on, what is this? That was a thing. Concept shit. Does this actually work? No, that's the thumbnail. I don't even think I have the one that moves on here, but you know, because whatever. But anyway, these are the references, I think. Nope, that's the picture I never finished. That's the really badass-ish looking thing that I didn't finish because I forgot about it for a long time and it was a speed paint and I've lost the original file for it. Yeah, so there that is. Anyway, there's the refs. Yeah, so I used bases and I didn't even delete the last ones, but yeah. So these are all the characters or whatever doing character things. And this is very inaccurate to like what they look like in full because they obviously are on a base because this was solely for I could get colors. I thought it was Quinohama in the bottom right. Nope, that is a character very different from Quino. Yeah, so we have, hang on, I'm gonna get a little thing. Unlike the Seven Sins and a Baby, they were color coded more on their hair, with the exception of Viola down here. They were more based on flipping their hair color. But yeah, so we have my baby Jojo, who's the first one I made, of course. This is that red one, and I love her a lot. She's, yeah, I'm sorry, I know it's, but then we have OR13, who, his name was kind of random as shit, but he's orange, that's why he's, I'm using a mouse, by the way, so that's why my hearts are crappy. He's a robot, just a full-out robot who is defective, and his name is OR, and he has a giant wand curl on his head, that's great, but sorry, I was reading the chat. But, his name was OR because I was thinking OR because orange, and then 13 because 13's an unlucky number, and he's crazy. But yeah, so then we have team mascot, Canary, who is a little science experiment cutie thing, and she's adorable, and I love her, and she's short. She's like 3 or 4 feet tall. She's adorable. And Jojo and OR and Canary, their thing was that they were actually a squad for a period of time, and they got along very well. And then this bitch show up. This bitch named Venus, who, yeah, Venus is fun. She's so she's sassy. She's obviously the green character, and like literally these three were fine because Jojo could be the leader and she didn't feel competitive, and Canary was like cute and adorable and super likable, and OR and Jojo like knew each other for a little while with their adventures, and Jojo couldn't really hate OR, but then they find Venus, who, this isn't really even big spoilers, but they find Venus, and their intention was to find her because OR, was it either OR or Canary tell Jojo, like, yo, there's another person with, like, who has the same thing going on with them that you do, and she's like, holy crap, what? I want to meet this person. So they went with the intention, this is better quality, I'm sorry, to find Venus, and when they found her, she had the uniform on. The clothes she's wearing is not what they found her in. They found her in the hospital, quote-unquote hospital uniforms that these guys are wearing. And they, oh goodness. It's really funny because she didn't care for them at all. She just was like, I don't want to escape at first, but then they're like, no, you're coming with us. She was like, fine. And then, I don't know why, I have a deep love for this scene, and I remember it, and I know that I will include it because it's a scene I love too much. There is a canon scene where they're trying to sneak through, and it's kind of intense, and they're kind of in a rush because they're kind of being chased down, and Venus is like, yo, I'm gonna go off and do something real quick, it's very important, so, like, wait for me. And so, like, I'll meet you on the other side. And there's all this panic, and you follow OR and Canary and Jojo, and there's all this panic. They're trying to figure things out. And, like, they're waiting for the door to open, which was Venus's job to open the door for them. And they're panicking, and she opens the door, and they burst through. And Venus is just standing there in a totally other outfit, in her proper outfit. And she's just like, well, gee, what took you so long? And it's like, Jojo flips her shit. And she's like, you're telling me you risked our lives for your outfit. And Venus is like, what's the problem here? Like, yeah, Jojo and Venus hate each other at the beginning of the story. That's their entire dynamic, because Jojo's a leader. She's a leader. Venus is an independent lone wolf who doesn't want to listen to anyone. So you can imagine how that goes. They also may or may not be the accidental lesbians. Anyway, so Then we have these assholes down here. And this one is Blue, who he has hair now. Hang on. He has a hair thing now. Cause I thought it looked better. He has a hair thing now. He's also a robot. He's a different kind of robot because he's a special kind of robot. And his name is BL-00 and 00 because he's technically like a prototype in a sense. And that's backstory spoilers that I can't talk about. So, you know. And, oh yeah, I wasn't even talking about like what kind of powers and shit. JoJo has fire powers. OR has claws in a robot form that can tear you in half. Flippin' Canary's just kind of cute. That's her thing. She has a role, but whatever. That's other stuff. That's stuff that I can't talk about without bringing up the antagonist to her, which I'm not gonna do. Yeah, exactly. His name is Blue. Anyway, so Venus has plant powers, and she actually has a thing that I thought was cool. She has her fist. Like, she'll have thorns kind of come out of her fist, and then she'll punch people with them. It's great. Anyway, so... okay. But then Blue, he has electricity powers, and he's really good with technology. And he's got this, like, nice guy-looking face, and he's a total asshole. Like, absolutely selfish asshole kind of character. And they found him because JoJo and Venus went on an adventure together. OR and Canary went off, and they found Blue, and they brought him back, like, look what we found! Like, so that was great. And then we have Indy. Indy, oh boy, Indy is fun. So, Indy's a fun ride, because Indy is an edgelord. Like, literal edgelord. Like, even edgier than Vanessa, which is saying a lot. And she's indigo, if you can't tell. And what she basically is that she has an animal form, too. Like, because she's a monster that was kind of a science experiment, too. And she was the original one. Canary is the second one of her kind. She's the first of her kind, and there's two. And I swear to God, I love her antagonist more than her sometimes. I love her but solely because of her relationship with Canary, because it's absolutely adorable. But she's really funny. She doesn't talk. In fact, in all honesty, I have a question. I use your species android for my story. I will credit you. I mean, androids aren't my species, so androids are more of a mythos mythos in a sense. So yeah, you can just give credit where it's due. I don't care. It's not mine. So, but yeah. So Indy, she's like, technically she's a shapeshifter, is what she kind of is, and she's made to be a weapon. But she's super dangerous. In fact, if you haven't noticed, Indy and Viola wear black rather than white, and that's because they're highly dangerous. That's their thing. If you wear in this little facility. You wear white, you're kind of a more quote-unquote normal patient. If you wear black, that's like top secret, highly dangerous kind of shit. But yeah, and then Indy, she tried to kill them the first time she met them, but she doesn't talk. In fact, the whole entire group doesn't even actually know if Indy's even a she, but she's never like given any sign that she isn't, so they're kind of like, okay. They don't even know anything about her, and she doesn't talk, and she's mysterious and edgy, and she has both eyes. She's unlike Viola and technically Rose. She's not hiding her eyeball because there's something wrong with it, or something freaky going on. She hides it just because she's edgy. The cute thing is that whenever you meet them, or when they meet her, once again, it's one of those things where they're trying to escape this place, and they hear, oh, there's this other freak show that could join our party. So they're like, yeah, let's do that. And there's some people who are like, I don't think this is a good idea. But JoJo's so hard-headed, she's like, no, we're doing it. And so they end up breaking into her cell or whatever, and of course Indy attacks them because Indy hates people and life and everything like that because she's Indy and she's edgy. But yeah, so she's like attacking them and she's like, it's kind of like final stance sort of thing, like, oh goodness, what are we gonna do? And flipping Canary is the one that kind of like, well, she actually, it's weird because I actually gotta remember this because it's been a while. But I'm sorry, I lost the train of thought. Yeah, so something happens and she ends up kind of like realizing, hey, you're not the people that run this place. I don't flippin', you know. Did I accidentally make a stream? Oh my god, I actually made this stream by complete accident. Yay. Good job, Kit Kat Sword Animates. But yeah, so she just ends up realizing, you know what? You don't all look that bad. And it's flipping Canary that becomes like her best friend, and she and Canary become like the best little monster buddies, and it's great and it's adorable and I love it. There's a picture somewhere deep in the bowels of my sketchbook somewhere, where like Canary's like with this adorable little smile and she's just like smile and then like look, this is how you smile, and flipping Indy smiles and it's like terrifying and she's like maybe not like but yeah, and so they're absolutely adorable and they have that relationship that like where Indy doesn't say anything. All the most sounds Indy ever makes is maybe some kind of grunts or whatever. And also, this was totally on accident because I didn't realize they were going to be best friends for life after I made them. But if you haven't noticed, their colors are kind of like the same. Are just kind of swapped around and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. Also, I didn't even say this, but like, OR and Blue are kind of best friends too. And then there's Viola, whom Viola is actually my best friend's favorite, and she loves Viola a lot. And ironically, I have a lot of friends who joke about that, like, I've gone gay for Rose, and I was like, yeah, that's the main antagonist, and they're like, shit. But Viola's fun because Viola is basically a science experiment. And this one I actually need some lore here. And I don't consider this spoilers because if I ever make this a thing, it'll be so long from now, I doubt anyone would actually remember this. But the thing with JoJo and Venus that's really important is that there's something that's called a metahuman, which is a term coined for basically just them because they're the only two that exists. And that the reason as to that I can't talk about because that's serious spoilers. But Zodiac, can some of us viewers create characters from the fallacy you're talking about? What? Mackenzie friend, I don't know what you're talking about.
The facility that they're all from.
Oh, I guess I don't know why you would though because I can't talk about all because there's a lot of lore. So I'd suggest putting your time and effort into a different character. Oh, that is a Felicity. I'm just dyslexic, I guess. But so you can, I guess, but I just there'd be better there's better ways to there's better things I think you can make characters for, but yeah. But yeah, the reason why JoJo can control fire and why Venus can control plants. And so they're metahumans, and that's a cool thing. And that's why Venus and JoJo were brought there in the first place, is because, whoa, these people are kind of dangerous and kind of freaky and unusual. We need to look into this. And so what Viola is she's the product of that research, because Viola is basically, they attempted to make an artificial metahuman was her thing. And Viola's the one they basically experimented on. um, which was kind of obviously goofed her up a little bit. Um, and you can't see it, but she's got an edgy little introverted eye stuff because that's fun. And she's also the only character in Colorful whose hair is not it doesn't follow the hair color theme.
Zodiac,
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed.
You're gonna go to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Say good night, Quan.
Night.
Night.
All these kisses. They can all Discord me.
Alright. Good night.
Bye.
Gonna talk more about my own crap, because,
You do you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yay! So, good night, Quan. Mama Quan's going, but hey, it's fine. So yeah, Viola's that experiment, is what I was saying. And she has scary metal powers, which is terrifying because when they first meet her, she's actually little thing just to sort of, I guess it's spoilery, kind of, but I just find this important because it's an interesting little story thing. Viola actually, at first, there's actually an intentional reason why Viola doesn't follow the specific color code and why she's the weird exception, is because Viola is an antagonist when you first meet her. And she fights everyone and chases after them. So I intentionally didn't give her purple hair as so to mislead people because, oh, she doesn't fit the color scheme that these other 6 characters follow. So I don't have a link to the base, I'm sorry. But like she doesn't follow the same thing that all these other 6 characters we've already met follow. So she's just an antagonist. But then you find out, no, she's actually a protagonist, and she's here to help. And she has metal powers, and she attacks them with needles, which is, well, she's spooky. She's similar to Indy in the sense that she always has that, like, straight face with the wide eyes, which is kind of like, it looks kind of freaky-esque and kind of mysterious-ish. But she's hilarious because she will, out of nowhere, say the most random crap. Like, it's really funny. She's a pretty funny character, and she doesn't talk very much, but she's pretty important. She's gonna change me though, just because I've been changing her a little bit because I'm trying to figure out how to make her a bit more relevant to the story, so she's not more like a side character than a regular character. But she's a pretty funny character in all honesty, and it's also really funny because her backstory in full. She doesn't really understand how people work. Or how social lives work. And so there's like a legitimate part, like there's parts in the story where it's like, because you have Indy and Canary and they're being like best friends for life, and then you have like OR. I haven't talked about these characters in a long time, jeez, but like OR and then OR and then Blue, who are like best robo buddies. And so she's kind of like, huh, they're the same thing. So she tries to be buddies with, like, she thinks that because they're the same and they're buddies, that since she's the same as JoJo and Venus, or at least similar, that she should be buddies with them. And so she'll just, like, it's just funny. She's a funny character. But yeah, I want to say I've been keeping up with this conversation, and I think if you all are gonna keep talking about this, the 3 people know who I'm talking about. I would prefer if you could please not do it in the stream. I think it's just kind of going on like. I don't know if this is the best place for these kind of conversations. But But yeah, not calling anyone out, but I think I think those who are involved know who I'm talking about. Just, I mean, you're free to. I'm not saying like stop your conversation if you want to continue having a conversation, but just I don't know if this is the best place to do it. Does Indy listen to loud indie music? I mean, maybe. She might. She's actually. Hey, I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm just staring into Viola's eyes, not paying attention to the chat. Okay, anyway. So Rose, everyone's favorite antagonist, and Rose was the reason why I realized I have a very serious theme with antagonists in the sense that they do not look like antagonists at first glance. Like, like all those jokes about how spot the antagonist. I don't. Many of my antagonists you can't do that with. uh, when are you opening up review requests? Dude, I don't know. Probably not for a long time. Sure. Hang on. But yeah, Rose is the dictator, but no one calls her a dictator, of her little world and whatnot. And she's very nice at first glance and all that good stuff. And sorry, I was looking at something. But she's like very nice, whatever. And it is kind of funny because like it's one of those kind of cliche sort of things for only JoJo seems to realize that she's the villain at first, and then you find out a lot of other people did, but that's different. So that's another story. That's very spoilery. And yeah, so Rose is fun, and she's funny. I've showed her to like there were 3 friends I can remember in my mind who said that like I'm totally gay for her because they were all female friends, and I just laughed and I was like, they're the main villain and they're a terrible, terrible person, and they were like, well, shit. But yeah, they were actually the person who, in the story, saved like, kind of stopped the apocalypse in a sense, and saved whatever people were still around, which is, yeah, so that's all I can really say, but, in my defense, I didn't make her inspired of actual rose quartz. I made her not thinking about it, and then I realized that she does kind of resemble rose quartz a little bit, but not by a lot, in all honesty. But but yeah, that's colorful for you. I can't believe I went on that whole entire thing. Hang on, I want to look at the prologue page I did, because I haven't seen my prologue page in a long time, and I remember it was pretty cool. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I really like the prologue page because I tried something different and I wanted to do something kind of artistic, and this was kind of the result. And oh yeah, Rose had short hair. That was fun, and of course there was a pun. But yeah, so I love the prologue page just because I felt like it was pretty unique, and I'm sad because I was gonna make it a comic, and I started it and it looked really nice, but I just I don't know, I just looked at them and I thought it would just make such a more entertaining animation, I think, than it would comic, and I don't even know if that'll ever happen, so there's potential that one day I might actually make it a comic if it doesn't work, but oh, the pun, because Rose was the one who stopped it and she had shorter hair, so one young woman rose up. Ha ha, funny. Anyway, kill me. So yeah, a fun fact about Colorful is that, because Colorful started because I was like, I want to make another comic, and I thought like, I I was thinking about ideas, and I thought, what about one that was based on colors? And it started out being a total fantasy book. Like, I kid you not. It was a total fantasy story. But as I was making it, I thought, this would be so much more entertaining in like a sci-fi kind of setting. So, yeah. Oh, Rosetta is the place that the last city is named, where they all live. Which was in the story, the lore on that is that Rosetta was Rose's mom. So she named it after her mom because she's sweet and she's awesome. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, I really like the prologue page a lot. It's sad, but like I even though my art's improved, I still love it just the way I just like it. But yeah, so is there anything even more I can even show you? I could like what's the prologue scrap? Hang on. Oh yeah, this is the original prologue, but this is when it was a fantasy. Hang on, let me bump it up. This was when it was still a fantasy, and so this was the original prologue page that was all thumbnail-y and sketchy and crap. And but yeah, sorry. So yeah, this was like when it was a fantasy thing, and the character in this is still a character in Colorful, and that character's funny because her name is Rainbow. She's an android, and she's a very, very specific kind of android, and her name is RA1NB00-3, Rainbow. So yeah, that's fun. What else do I have? I could probably show you the thumbnails. The thumbnails are... Look at all this. Like, flippin', look at all this shit I had. I had so much for this comic. Like, a lot. And oh, wait, hang on. Why does that exist? Why does that even exist? There's not even anything there. I'm talking about stories, Absol, I'm sorry. But... yeah, so I actually had I had a whole flippin' thing. And oh yeah, flippin' these two. I love these two. These were two random side characters I start. Their names are Dr. Raven, or I believe, if I remember, it's Dr. Raven and Nurse Snow, and I love them. And they were meant to be side characters, and now Raven, Dr. Raven, who's the woman, by the way, she's more important now than she was originally intended to be. And I also very much ship Snow and Raven a lot. And goodness, I love them. But yeah, they were just random side characters that came up that I made for it. And these were the little doodle references I did so I could draw them consistently and I didn't have to like whatever. But yeah, these were just like, look at all these fucking thumbnails. I'm telling you, this comic was gonna be legit. But yeah, and I think I had 3 pages. I'm gonna open those up because why not? I'm on a spree. I'm dumping my life story. But yeah, this comic was painted. This comic was painted. This is still one of my favorite pictures. I don't like how the bottom of it looks, but I love her face. I love JoJo a lot. Like, look at this shit. I miss this story. But, yeah. So, and then that was that one, and then, page 2 is all her being shifty-eyed, which was fun, because I was going to line the comic, and then I got carried away, and I ended up painting it, which is also part of the reason why I think I stopped, because I couldn't keep up with it. Here's Raven and Snow in color. Just FYI. This isn't even painted, this is just color. But yeah, and because you can tell that I stopped, but love you too. But yeah, Raven and Snow, whom I love, and they're totally shipped, even though they're very irrelevant to the story. And I made them so because I was laughing, like, why don't I make 2 characters and the doctor's a woman and the nurse is a man, you know? and I actually based their outfits off a different character I have. But yeah, so man, I miss this story a lot. I miss it. I love JoJo. Look at her go. Um, but yeah, so that's colorful for all of you. Hang on, I want to see. There's some gems in my thumbnails too. Like, I love look at Snow's or not Snow, Raven. Like this is like the only comic I've ever actually done like legit thumbnails for. Like Seven Sins and a Baby. If anyone reads that, I don't do thumbnails for that. I do all I wing that. But this one I had like legit things and like thumbnails, and I miss this story a lot. But yeah, so. You can tell how snow is brought on his shoulders. So yeah, I don't know how this turned into the entire stream. I apologize. But yeah, I actually really love all these. I love the story too. And that was if you can't see it over here, I made these are the red things were my cutoff lines that I had, so I remembered what I was doing. And these were my little references. Like there's one right here that is I did that so I could remember where things were, and I didn't have to keep like figuring it out all the time. But I missed this. Quan left, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know. She went to bed. But yeah, the if you can't tell what's going on, basically it starts off with jumping right into it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. The thing was that it starts off like just full into the action because it's like JoJo wakes up and she's spooked because she's in this hospital and she's like, what the hell, where am I? The doctor and the nurse walk in, they're like, oh, you're awake, swell. And she's yelling at them because she's a hothead, you know. And Raven's the one that gives us all the beautiful context, and she's talking about you're here because you have pyrokinesis, and she's like, pyro what now? And she's like, fire powers. And it's like, oh. And she's freaked out because she doesn't know how people know that because it was a secret, because ooh. How much longer do you plan streaming for? Are you going to upload the stream? It's going on YouTube, and I don't know. I'm probably going to edit sometime soon because I'm going to rambling on. But, yes. And then it's like, oh, I didn't know about that. And it's like, that's the secret. And no one's answering her because they're edgy. And so, oh, yeah, I also forgot to mention. I totally forgot. Their names are, all of their names include their color somewhere in there. Like, JoJo's name is Rouge, JoJo Rouge. Venus's name is Viridae, which is Latin for green. You should make a stream where you just talk about your stories. Isn't that all my streams? I love talking about my stories. I mean, heck, that's what actually the stream was going to be, but Quan was like, we should read a thing, and I was like, all right, fine. But yeah, and then it's just like, so it's like, do you remember what happened before you got here? And she's like, of course I did. And then she realized she has amnesia, because that's the thing that gets explained later. And it's like, huh, interesting. And yeah, stuff happens. And yeah, I love this comic, or I love this story, and I'm sad that I'm not continuing it or anything like that, but you know, so. I wish my stories were this popular. Just keep working at them, like, honest, and, hang on one second. Anyway, I'm back. What was I saying? Okay. The thing is, I have to like, be honest with you guys. Obviously you can tell, I have fun with my stories. I love making my stories. I've always enjoyed developing them and creating them, and I love talking about them, obviously. And all I can tell you, and this goes for art and really anything you do, um, just do things because you love to do it. Don't do things because you want them to be popular or because you want them to be noticed or have fans. You're your own creation's biggest fan. And so if you're not your biggest fan, then what's the point of even doing it, you know? Um, so when you make stories and art and anything in general, just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the experience of doing it, and I can understand the feeling of having a lot of work go unnoticed. I really do, but if you just keep doing what you love, eventually someone will recognize it because if you love what you do and you're able to notice the flaws and improve, you you will get better and you will improve in what you do and you will get to a point where people recognize that talent and they recognize that skill and you will get recognized for what you do someday if you just are that passionate enough about it. And there is luck involved. I'm not saying there is, but here's a mentality, and if that's not good for you, like that doesn't motivate you, something I've always told myself is that you can be as passionate and love your. Here's the thing: when you make a story, it's never going to be guaranteed to, and even art, just in art in general, you whether it could get popular or it could not, and this is regardless whether or not you're passionate or you care about the story. But I mean, there's stories where and characters and art that people aren't actually they don't care about it, they're not passionate about it, but they do it and it still gets popular and noticed. And again, that's a luck thing. But here's the thing. What if you do things solely because you want popularity and attention for it and for it to be recognized, then like if you don't get that attention, then you begin to wonder what's the point in doing it. But if you love what you do, if you're passionate about it and you enjoy it, then at the end of the day, if people don't recognize it or they don't see it, well, you know what you got out of it? You had fun and you enjoyed doing it. Um, even if people don't notice, even if people don't notice it, at least you got something. Unlike if you're not passionate about it, then if you do it and no one notices, you didn't get anything out of it, you know? So that's my expert philosophical advice or whatever. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Um, kind of like the Warriors books for a while. They did it just for money. I could honestly see that. I thought the Warriors books slowly and slowly got worse personally. And the thing is, that's the kind of story that I could see. That's the kind of stories I like making. Big worlds with lots of world building and different potential for different stories. But, you know, the first books were some of the best, were like the best. Um, also, Zodiac attempted to explain Luniverse to my grandmother. Long story short, I failed. Listen, I wouldn't even be able to explain Luniverse to my own parents. So, yeah. But basically, guys, just if you love what you do, this and like with Warriors, if had they like you could kind of tell when the passion kind of died. And I think the biggest example is if anyone read Bramble Stars, what is it? What is it called? Bramble Stars something or other. I don't remember. But Bramble Stars story or whatever it was. And if you remember, if any of you read that when it first existed and when it first came out, many of you might remember. Yeah, Brackenstar's Storm. That's what it is. Some of you might remember the fact that, and spoilers, by the way, spoilers for people who want to read themselves. Sorry, but there's a part when Graystripe is retiring, and he's giving his little speech thing, and it's all like heartfelt and stuff. And he says, "I'm proud of my daughter Misty Star for becoming leader of RiverClan." And if you've read Warriors, you know exactly what's wrong with that sentence. because Misty Star is not his daughter. Um, and there was not just me. There was a lot of other people who were like completely freaking out over it because if any of you don't remember, Misty Star and Stonefur were Blue Star's kids. Stonefur died defending Stormfur and Feathertail. Feathertail and Stormfur are Graystripe's kids. Feathertail died because of a prophecy. Oh, they changed it in the books, by the way. This is why I'm saying if you got it when it first was released. Because they changed it, obviously. That's the kind of mistake that you change. And Stormfur lives in the tribe now. So, you know exactly what's wrong with that, and it was outrageous. But you see, that's a huge thing. Like, there was a scene in the original books where Misty Star and Stormfur were saying goodbye to their dying mother, and that's a very important scene. That's a huge scene. So the fact that, and they're like forgiving her and stuff, like, the fact that they could and I understand some things, like some things there's a lot of continuity errors when Warriors about like certain things that did or didn't happen, some kits parents that no one actually really knows for sure, some pelt colors and genders get mixed up every now and then, but when it comes to side characters, that's with a book series like that, it's understandable. But with something as big and narratively important as that scene, when there's 5 of you, like 4 or 5 or 6 of the authors, when there's about 5 of you, and you all seem to forget that important scene, you know you're not writing because you're passionate about it anymore. Yeah, Heavy Step, that's one of the things. Heavy Step died like 4 times. There's a lot of continuity editors, and I don't remember which one, but there was a character that was like a male at one point, but then suddenly they were female. There were some characters that described having a certain colors, and then other characters that had other colors. Hell, it's really funny because I'm doing I have a Warriors fan fiction thing on DeviantArt. If anyone wants to go read it, Fall of the Stars. It's a big joint. Yeah, Rowan Star. That's the one. It's a big joint thing because I actually had a lot of people send me like, give me your characters and I'll make something out of it. And I took parts of different stories. I changed some of them to fit certain narratives so it could all fit together. And I'm making a story off of that. And I actually, for that story, I have a note on my phone. It's long as shit. And the thing was that there's just a long thing of me writing down who's related to who, what everyone looks like. I'm even making color references for them. I found a base, and I've been leisurely making references for all the characters in that book. Or not in the book, but in the story. Just so I can remember what their eye colors and shit were. And like what they look like, you know? And well, that's Rave Paw is a spelling error. But like, so it's funny, and I think I blame part of that on just learning from that mistake because there's so many continuity errors. And like, you know, and again, when there's like 5 of you and it's not even like a small thing, like Graystripe's kids were not even that, Graystripe and Blue Star's kids were kind of irrelevant. And see, the thing is, Misty Star, Feathertail, and then Stormfur and Stonefur look similar. That like they look similar, so visually you could imagine how those might kind of be screwed up, but like not that badly. Feathertail and Misty Star were like, had they said Stormfur in place of Stonefur, I would have understood because that is like a 1-letter difference, or like a few letter difference. But Feathertail and Misty Star, 2 totally different characters. It was frustrating for me. So yeah, there's a lot of issues with Warriors, and then things like bullshit that has to do with Flippin' StarClan. Like, when I actually read Bramblestar Storm, I was actually very enraged that StarClan apparently, spoilers, took Lion Blaze, Dovewing, and Jay Feather's powers away. And I think what I was most pissed about, like, okay, Lion Blaze and Dovewing, I can understand that because that could help them in battle. It could give them an unfair advantage with other clans. Okay, but Jay Feather, spoiler alert, StarClan, Jay Feather reunited all you sons of bitches. Jay Feather was the entire reason that you basically won the battle with the Dark Forest, and you take his powers away so he's stumbling around, he suddenly has to relearn how to be blind. That, like, pissed me the hell off. Because I was like, why would you even do that? Like, really? It made me angry. Yeah, it's still going. Warriors is actually a series. I haven't read the like Dawn of the Clans, because I read like I started reading the first one and then I just kind of like didn't click with me. And I know there's even a series after that, but I haven't read that obviously. But like I'm so pissed though. Like why on earth would you do that? Like, how grateful does that make StarClan? Jay Feather united you so you could beat the Dark Forest. He is legitimately the cat that won the battle for you. But no, let's just show our appreciation of his job well done by taking away the thing he's grown up with and he's relied on to see and function. Goodness. So yeah, needless to say, I was a bit mad. Yeah, there's different ones. There's Warriors, Survivors, and I think Survivors is dogs, and I can't remember what the other one is. There's one about bears. I can go on many tangents. I'm a tangent person. Okay, I'm gonna end this at 11 o'clock. We'll set a date. We'll set a time for myself. Seekers, that's the one. Seekers. Thanks, Noonie. But yeah, so I love the first books of Warriors. I read them in 5th grade and throughout middle school. But as the series went on, there were characters I learned to love and characters that just pissed me the hell off, and and they were really good with character development originally, you know? But then they slowly got worse and worse till the only character I actually really ended up enjoying was Ivypool and Jay Feather. Two of the most... And the villains. I love Mapleshade a lot. I love Mapleshade a whole lot as a character, and I'm also pissed off with her. I realized after I kind of quit the series, quote unquote, that Mapleshade got flipping screwed over, man. Mapleshade was flipping justified in her hatred. Like, in all honesty, she was justified to a degree. Because, think about it. Blue Star had kits with a character in RiverClan. She took those kits and brought them over there with the intention to give them away, and one of them ended up dying on the way there. And she gave them away so she could be leader of ThunderClan, you know? And she's in StarClan now, and she's also done a lot of other things, like denounce her faith. Yeah, I love Yellowfang. Jay Feather and Yellowfang and Ivypool are 3 of my favorites, I think. I'm sure there's other ones that I just can't think of. I also like 1 Star when he was One Whisker. The moment he became 1 Star, he just went straight downhill. But yeah, so anyway, continuing with Mapleshade. Mapleshade, and I haven't read her story, so I don't know. I'm just basing this off what I've seen. Mapleshade, she had kits with a cat in RiverClan, and let's face it, if Okay, I could also say this. I really, really hate how they flipping screwed Ivy Pool over. Like, she was supposed to kill uh flipping Hawk Frost. That was her kill. That was her redeeming moment. And the flipping writers stole that from her. And it enrages me. Like, seriously. Really? Like, that was her cat to kill. And no, she couldn't do that. She's not allowed to. It pissed me off. But Maple Shade, let's face it, there's so much forbidden love in Warriors that you might as well not call it forbidden love anymore. Because, and honestly, it kind of makes me feel weird because, all the other love drama you could have done within clans and not making it forbidden. But apparently every other cat has to have a forbidden love. I'm not actually that mad, by the way. I just want people to know. I'm not that mad. I'm passionate. When I talk about something passionately, I sound mad, but I'm not mad. Like, if someone told me to stop, I would stop, but. But, goodness. So, Maple Shade had forbidden kits, like every other cat in the book, and they accidentally died, and it wasn't her fault that they died, because she was trying to bring them to RiverClan. I think if I know right, she wanted to live in RiverClan, so she didn't just want to bring them there, she wanted to go there, and they, from what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, they drowned in the river on accident, and they fell in the river, and they all died. And, I might as well say that Blue Star flipping one of Moss kit, Blue Star's kit died too because of the snow, and it wasn't Blue Star's fault. But her kits died, and then she finds her forbidden lover who, she's like, the kits are dead. He just totally straight up rejects her, like, how dare you, I hate you now. Even though it wasn't your fault. I can't even love you anymore. And from what I know, again, I am basing this off of a map I saw, to be honest. From what I know, she commits suicide, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, goodness. Oh, she gets killed by an overweight apprentice. Okay. So, all of this happens. And so her story is rather similar to Blue Star's from what I know. And yet she goes to the dark forest with cats who murdered people and did a lot of horrendous things. And Maple Shade didn't even really denounce her faith from what I know. I'll admit I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I've seen a lot of different things on how she died. So I don't know actually how she died, to be honest. But seriously, why? And StarClan was asking for her to be evil. Like, I swear. You don't do that to a cat. Oh, did she? Well, I guess that makes more sense if she killed people. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read her story. I should, but But like again though, I just think she was really screwed over because I mean again, she's not the only cat that's killed people and went to StarClan. Like, if I'm being honest here. I don't know. From hindsight, I honestly hate StarClan a lot. Which I guess you could argue that's what they were going for. Like, look, it's a religion that they worship, and it's not always a good thing, But again, I have to go back to the forbidden romance thing. There was so much forbidden romance, you might as well have not made it a problem. Yeah, like Ashford. I did read somewhere, though, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think he got into StarClan by one vote, I think, was the either the theory or the headcanon or the fun fact. Ashfur, yeah. I hate Ashfur's character. Why does I hate it when characters are based solely for romance. Like, I really don't like it. Bugs me. Yeah, is there like Helen Warrior Cats? Yeah, it's Dark Forest. The Dark Forest is technically their their hell, in a sense. Um, I also find it funny that if you haven't noticed, a lot of the evil cats seem to follow the same formula, which is actually something I went for, because again, I have my fanfic thing. And, two singers, like, but, what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, okay. So, like, I'm doing my fanfiction Fall of the Stars or whatever, and something I noticed is that a lot of the evil cats seem to follow very similar formulas. One, literally practically all of the important villains are male. Literally all of them. Except for like Maple Shade was an important villain. From what I know, it's just practically all of the important villains were male, which tips me off a little bit. And that's not even like a sexist kind of, I just think like, why can't we have female villains? But like, what else? Another thing is that they almost all seem like scarred, like physically scarred, intimidated. Yeah, broad-shouldered tabby. That's what it is. Except for like a few of them. But like Tiger Star, Broken Star, all of those guys, like Hawk Frost, all of them just broad-shouldered, like, and usually are all physically scarred and shit, and it's like, why? um, why must Daisy be that way? So it's, yeah, why do most of them, and also it's always like the bad things that they do is always associated with they kill people. That's always what it is. Um, like, why can't we have a character who's evil, but their evil wasn't just straight up killing people? It was like some other kind of evil. Or why can't there be like a character who went to the Dark Forest for like the wrong reasons? Or they went to hell because they had bad intentions and they didn't actually kill someone. I just feel like StarClan's like super inconsistent sometimes, but like, um, so that's actually like in my fanfiction. That's what I'm kind of going for, is I'm trying to add a bit more variety and different reasons why different characters went to hell, basically. And I'm trying to add more different personalities, because also another thing I've noticed is that they're all super evil, brutal, intelligent characters. Like, they went to hell because they didn't credit art. When you go to the Dark Forest backstory, taking catnip from just over the border. I love it. It's alright if you don't understand anything, but, I'm just venting for the sake of it. But, yeah. So, I just wish there was more variety. It was always like they killed people and they're merciless and they're bloodthirsty and they're power hungry. Like, why is there not any cat who's there for other reasons? There's a pair of cats who are there because they did a lot of shitty, manipulative things. They did bad. And they're actually there, in a sense, because they were abusive parents. In a sense, they aren't my characters. That's why they're there. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There's... What else is there? Because I can only think of ones at the moment that are relevant to the story. Yeah, but there's like a lot of I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of room for interesting stuff that just was not like done, So Why did that one Wind Clan Chica go to the Dark Forest, though? Which one? Rain Whisker? I know, yeah, I don't think... Did Thistle... Yeah, Thistleclaw was, like, just power hungry. Yeah, I actually, that's also a thing in the story. There's, like, some there's, like, gay stuff. Like, yeah. And also, another thing, too, is, like, for some reason, it seems like there was a theme originally that, like, medicine cat kits are, like, plagued with bad luck or of some kind. Lily Whisker, I don't know. But yeah. So, I'm sorry. I keep reading things and I keep pausing, but you know, so like yeah. So and also there's like that thing cuz like Yellowfang, and honestly Yellowfang's arguably like my favorite character. I love Yellowfang a lot. She had a very deep, like in-depth character. She was interesting, she was intriguing. I cried when she died. I felt bad for her, I sympathized with her, all that other stuff. I feel like popular artists shun new artists, is that true? Most of them don't, I don't think. The ones who do are shitty artists, I say that for sure. I feel like popular artists shun. I mean, by that logic, you could technically consider... Some people could consider me a popular artist. I don't personally think so. Yeah, it depends. Just because an artist is popular doesn't mean that they're a shitty person. There's a lot of popular artists who are good people. And some of them don't even try to shun people. It's like sometimes they can't reply to everything. Oh my god. I know that feeling. I really hate... Oh, goodness. When you become a member of Star Clan, but you die again. I hate the phrase, like, oh, I know it's not all of them, but someone swore at me for asking for an art trade. Yeah, people who do that shouldn't do that. That's shitty. You just say no. You don't have to flipping curse at people. Anyway. But goodness. I really hate when people say things like, oh, well, your art is worse than mine, therefore you can't give me criticism. No, they can. Criticism is a way to get an idea what your consumer base wants. And now here's the thing. Whether you want to take that criticism or not, that's up to you. But you don't get angry because people give it to you, and anyone can give criticism. Like, seriously. People need to stop assuming that, like, the phrase, like, only cooks can critique cooks or whatever, like, something like that. But, yeah, don't be afraid to critique an artist who's better than you, because they should be willing to take it. I mean, hell, by that logic, I shouldn't be able to tell someone, like, you run slowly, because I can't really run that well. Hardly at all. Why? Because I don't see where the jacket ended. What? I was trying to tell them that their line should be white because I couldn't see where the jacket ended. Yeah, see, like, really. Just because you're better than someone doesn't mean they can't criticize you. Like, seriously. Like, I've seen it before, people like, oh, and you see it on YouTube all the time, like, oh, your editing is worse than mine, therefore you can't give me criticism. No, like, criticism on my video or whatever, and it's like, no, they can. They very much can. And then they made 5 rants about me and stopped my art blog, saying I can't help them because I don't know proper net. See, they're totally in the wrong in that situation. That's obsessive. That shows a lot more about their character than yours. The fact that they'd be willing to, like, goodness. Oh, I'm just talking about random art stuff. Yeah, also, here's the thing, too. Nobody's anatomy is perfect. Legitimately. And especially when you do a cartoony style, your anatomy's not going to be perfect, you know? I tend to draw, this is something I'm trying to fix. I tend to draw heads a little bit too big. I tend to draw eyes rather big most of the time. I usually with like hands, I don't always draw hands correctly. You know, anatomy is something that like and seriously, it's an observation. Like really, you're gonna criticize someone like someone can't critique you because they made an observation, but they can't do it themselves. You know, anatomy is every artist's shot in the knee, pretty much. Um, Man, anatomy just in general is just hard. But like, seriously, if you're an artist out there or whatever, like seriously, just because you might be better than someone doesn't mean they can't critique your work. Like, really. That's like saying that, oh, movie critics don't make movies, so they can't critique movies. Like, it's stupid, you know? Especially because, like, it's subjective. I mean, yeah, I guess some could be obvious, but who knows? Somewhere out there might think that a shitty MS Paint drawing is better than a really cool looking, full fledged professional drawing. You never know. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, why is ours so fucking hard? Um, yeah. One time she drew her hand backwards and I told her about it and we laughed for ages. Alright, but sorry. Yeah, I always find it funny. I always feel bad when I see people draw hands backward because I'm like, oh no. Thank you. Thank you, Tori Scott. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here. This seems like a good place to end. Let's see, what did we learn today? The worst story on Wattpad's the best story ever. Wolf Decimo exists. Zodiac really, really, really likes talking about his stories for hours. Quan is the best. Olivia Bebe. Warrior Cat's continuity is bullshit, and Warrior's slowly gotten worse over the years. And artists, just because someone doesn't draw at all or doesn't draw better than you doesn't mean they can't critique you. Yay. Yeah, and Maple Shade was innocent. 2017. So yeah. Thanks y'all for watching. I hope you had a fun time. And I will hopefully I'll see about streaming maybe one more time before school starts. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this stream, and I will see you in the next video that'll be tomorrow. So, bye y'all.